Hey, what's up, Knicks Nation? Welcome to the show. And as always, we have a whole lot to talk about. So Jack Khalil made his summer league debut yesterday, but he reaffirms that he wants to stay in America. He loves it here. Then we got to talk about this weird ass Timberwolves trade proposal. Honestly, after y'all hear this proposal, y'all gonna laugh. Also, Paolo Banchero talking really spicy, very, very confident, talking about the Magic. They gonna come out the East, and they ain't scared of no goddamn New York Knicks. We also talk about how important home court. Well, we answer the question, and I'm curious to know how y'all feel about this, but how important is home court for the New York Knicks in this upcoming playoff run for next season? And Mike Brown did the improbable last season. Maybe we should give players a chance based on that. I'm going to explain what I mean by that. Because Knicks fans, we have harsh standards, or we have some really, really tough standards. And there's certain players that could be of value to us, but nonetheless, it's always a no when they don't reach a certain criteria. And bringing it back to Paolo and the Magic, here's the question of the night that I want to know from y'all. Are we sleeping on the Magic? Are we sleeping on the Magic? Could they really be a threat to the Knicks? I want to talk about that. And the last topic we'll get into is why the Knicks are in a sweet spot for the beginning of a dynasty. Yes, NBA dynasty. So look, we're going to talk about this tonight on Level-Headed Knicks Talk. What's up, Knicks Nation? Welcome to the show. I am your host, Karan Pierre, the Objective Fan, and I'm straight out of Kings County, New York City's finest. Man, you know the vibes. Tell a friend that we live, man. Hey, welcome to the show. Hopefully you guys are having a fantastic day. It's Sunday night, and we're here to talk basketball. But look, before we begin the show, we do have to address the proper formality. We have to smash that like button. So as you enter the show, smash the like button to let the YouTube algorithm know that this is the place to be. And right now, we noticed that in the last 28 days, that well over 50% of you guys who watch the shows, you guys are just not subscribed. So subscribe now, so that way we'll close the gap. And we're on the road to 10K subscribers. So if you want to be down, you want to be a part of the mission, get on it early so you can see us before we hit our goals. By the way, we do have that 5K giveaway that we're doing. Well, my bad, technical difficulty. We do have that 5K giveaway that we're doing on Tuesday, where we're going to give away that rookie Jalen Brunson trading card. So if you want to be in the mix, if you are a subscriber and you want to be in the mix for that, you make sure you're in the building on Tuesday. It's very, very important. All right. I drop hints every show, and I will drop hint number 3 a little bit later in the show as well for the giveaway, the rookie Jalen Brunson trading card. Okay. Also, just to let you know, I got the image on the screen, but the New York edition is out now. We're accepting pre-orders now, rather. So all you have to do is hit the Linktree /TheObjectiveFan to go place your order. All right. And all you have to do, Linktree /TheObjectiveFan, and you will be able to pre-order this edition. This is a special edition for New York Knicks fans, and it's the latest addition to the 82 Night series. So to all the people who purchased the 82 Night series, I think you will want to get this one. is going to be one for the ages because, hey, like I said last year, you just never know. This year could be your year, and I think this is the year where we get it done. So big time salute to everybody in the building. I do appreciate y'all for y'all support. Matter of fact, really quickly, I'm going to put it in the chat. I just thought about that. Let me put the link in the chat so y'all be able to pre-order it. All right. Bam. In the chat right now and pinned. So I'm going to keep it pushing, man. Tomorrow we got the podcast, Twin K podcast. I don't know when I'm going to do it, but I do want to do the podcast. That's the show that we do every Monday. But we also got that game with the Pistons. We got the member-only panel. It's going down tomorrow against the Pistons at 4 o'clock. So if you want to pull up. And then the podcast will either be more than likely before that. So it'll be a little earlier day tomorrow. And then, of course, Tuesday, we got the Blue and Orange Brunch, 4 p.m. Special time. And then every day this week, from Tuesday to Friday, we have Blue and Orange Brunches. We also got another Summer League game Thursday, 7 p.m. against the Warriors. We'll watch that game together as well. All right? Big time. And I just realized something. I'm bad at this. This Saturday coming up is my birthday. So there won't be no NBA Saturday next Saturday. Because I got something to do for my birthday. But we'll talk more about that as the week hits. Do appreciate y'all for y'all support. And as you enter the show, smash the like button. Let me get started because there's a lot of topics. What I'll do is usual level-headed Knicks talk style. Do a couple of topics, take a couple of calls, couple of topics, couple of calls. So I'm gonna start off with some of these topics you're supposed to talk about last night. So I'm gonna get into some of this stuff. We're gonna talk about the Orlando Magic. You know, the Orlando Magic definitely, you know, they talking spicy. Very Paolo Banchero, very confident. He's very, very confident. But we're gonna see, you know, all of these teams, all of this talk, you know, it's a lot going on, but we're gonna see where these teams are for sure. You know that. I want to talk about two positive stuff. I want to talk about Mike Brown. I was supposed to talk about this last night, but last night's show was so crazy. So I'm gonna lead the show off with a couple of topics I didn't get to talk about last night. Let me go to research mode. Bam. So Mike Brown, improbable feat, led the Knicks to a championship. So what do we mean by that? Now in the NBA, there's always a stigma. There's always, you know, this player can't do this, this player can't do that. But one thing that we have to give Mike Brown his credit for is that he definitely knows how to get the most out of his players, right? And we've seen Mike Brown help transform people's games, like Jordan Clarkson, for example. Jordan Clarkson wasn't playing no damn defense and crashing the boards before he got to the Knicks. But now, in his role that was carved out and crafted by Mike Brown and the rest of the staff, he was able to transform his game. And, you know, it was a beautiful sight to see. But this is the key that I think that we need to consider. Mike Brown, he got offensive-minded players to buy in on defense. That's fire. What do we mean by that? According to Basketball Index, Towns finished the 25-26 season in the 91st percentile in rim protection. You guys know how I feel about the goddamn percentile. Whatever. We'll take it. In 98th percentile in screener and mobile defense, right? Both statistics reflect the visible shift in intensity that Towns has experienced. So if you guys want to salute Towns on that, salute Towns on that. Notice how I didn't say Mitchell Robinson was there. It said Towns was there. So a lot of us still are coping with the loss of Mitchell Robinson. And yeah, honestly, if you're coping with the loss of Mitchell Robinson today, you honestly should be singing that sad-ass Boston Celtic Jason Tatum song. Because you got to relax. We got the best center in the Eastern Conference. We got the best player in the world in Jalen Brunson. We're going to be all right. We got defensive play. We got Wingstop. everybody from 1 through 4 play defense. It's a team effort. But, the article is arguing that Mike Brown, he helped Towns turn it around. I'm going to keep it real. I always thought Towns was a solid defender. I never thought he was trash the way people made him seem. Like, oh, Towns doesn't play defense. I don't know where people got that narrative from, but the Towns' problem is fouls. That is the problem. When he gets into foul trouble, it compromises his ability to play defense. But it's not his ability as a defender. And when we're talking about Towns and fouls, we're talking about offensive fouls. Because he's notorious for committing offensive fouls. He does it consistently, right? And that was a huge problem last season, right? So, but besides that, spare me with the narrative that Karl Anthony Towns does not play defense. All right, I'm not jacking that, but that was the narrative that people want to run with. So if you want to give Mike Brown credit for Karl Anthony Towns' defense, you can. I do think that it was the strategy of this coaching staff. I think it was O'Connor and another coach that came up with the idea of pushing drivers towards the baseline, and this was something that that greatly helped the Knicks. And we made the shift, and we became the #1 defense in basketball, right? And once again, that was just a shift in strategy. But Towns definitely finished really good. If you want to look at the comparisons to 24-25, when our defense was mid, he was in the 78th percentile, 46th percentile. It is what it is. I don't even want to go through that. But, there is an improvement based on the numbers, right? I would also add Jordan Clarkson to this, conversation as well. Jordan Clarkson was not known for his offense, right? If you want to throw Landry Shamet in it, you can, even though Shamet showed some defensive prowess when Coach Tibbs was there. But, Clarkson, Shamet, those guys were not known as defenders before they came to New York. But last year, everybody played defense at a very high level. And I think that is the key for us going forward, is we're going to have to continue to be able to do it as a team. It's not going to be one guy. No one guy can stop our initiative as a team, right? No one loss should prevent us from being prolific, all right? And I think that's where we are as a franchise and a team. And I look forward to Mike Brown continuing and adding and building on what we did last year. But I will also say this too. When we talk about a DeMar DeRozan, a lot of you guys, oh no, we don't want DeRozan. He don't play defense. But hey, on this team, you're going to have to play defense. And who's to say that whatever player we get, there won't be a shift and an adjustment to help make them fit into the system. So maybe we shouldn't be concerned about fit and oh man, this guy's not a great fit, when you got the guy who's the best at making adjustments in the NBA, and his name is Mike Brown. Salute to Mike Brown. But I don't agree with just putting Towns there. I thought they should have also put Clarkson there. But Towns' defense definitely improved under the new regime change, for sure. Right? And you could want to argue it, but you just be arguing with facts and numbers. And if that's what you want to do, that's on you. I'm gonna keep it pushing. I'm gonna get into another topic. I want to talk about there's a lot of ways I could go right now. I want to talk about the home court. I want to talk about the dynasty though. Let's talk about the dynasty. And honestly, this is a real question for y'all. Do you guys believe that the Knicks can be a dynasty with this group, with Brunson and OG and Hart, and pretty much the starting five is part of the core? Do you guys think that we can be a dynasty with this group? That's what I want to know. I got an interesting article that gave some extra insight onto the sweet spot that the Knicks are in right now that possibly can spawn into a dynasty. All right. Knicks are in the same culture sweet spot of the last two NBA dynasties. Who were the last two NBA dynasties? Honestly, technically, the two examples that they're sharing, I wouldn't consider them dynasties because I thought that dynasties was 3 in a row, but it is what it is. They're talking about Miami and Golden State. So culture is a buzzword muttered many times during the introductory press conference, usually from the coach or top executive, and is an easy sell to fans because it's difficult to quantify. That's a fact. Like, I'm gonna piss some people off. I don't give a damn. The Miami Heat culture is a scam. There is no such thing as Miami Heat culture. Yeah, that's they scamming. Ain't no such thing as Miami Heat culture, dog. Because all they did was they traded for Shaq. They got, they had Alonzo Mourning. They got Gary Payton. They had a whole big team of veteran guys, and they were able to win the championship. Next time around, they go get LeBron James and Chris Bosh. Show me Miami culture when they don't have that level of talent and they thrive. Don't tell me, oh, well, they made it to the finals with Jimmy Butler. I could give a goddamn about that because they lost. Nobody cares that the Knicks made it to the finals in 94 and 99. We lost. We're not getting no brownie points for going to the goddamn NBA finals and losing. The bottom line is you only won it when you were able to get top 75 talent. Literally, first ballot Hall of Famers, the best of the best, top 15 talent. That's what it took for Miami to win championships. So yeah, that culture word is a joke to me. And a lot of people don't have culture, but they're trying to pitch it like there's some type of thing going on there. But it's just like the article says, to appease fans. All right. Didn't win a lot of games. Don't worry. Culture is being built. So I tell you, it's a scam. Nobody wants to sign with a team, maybe, but look at all of this culture. These young players think, whoa, you're clearly not seeing the elite levels of culture. I love this article. It's fire. Steve Mills and Scott Perry love to use that phrase. How many of y'all remember that? What culture did they build? Huh? Sean Marks, steering the ghost ship in Brooklyn, is the culture king. I mean, that's just a terrible disappointing. When I think the Nets, the most disappointing franchise in NBA history. However, the reality as evidenced through NBA history is culture cannot be spoken into existence. It requires two important components, both non-negotiable and both currently achieved by the Knicks. Winning and a humble or stable. I like that. Humble or stable superstar. That's it. And I agree with that. Let me just say this. Like, to me, culture is when you're able to not trade for the finished product in Giannis. If you draft him and develop a Giannis, or you draft and you develop a Jokic, right? Or you do what OKC did. You go and trade for SGA before he becomes superstar All-NBA SGA, right? To me, that's a lot more impressive, right? However, you got people trying to speed up the process by trying to build super teams and just adding superstars who built their brands and their names on other teams. I mean, to me, that's not that impressive. That's why that culture word to me is a scam. And the majority of teams in the NBA don't have no goddamn culture. And don't give me no business about no Miami Heat culture. Because even if Miami, they shock the world and win the championship, which they won't, it'll be because they added Giannis to the team. Once again, pulling from their old playbook of just adding star players to their team. That's what they do. They're not able to hone the only player they honed was D Wade, who won the championship, but he won it with the imports. He didn't win it with, a team that they developed. What the Knicks are doing, to me, just seems to be more organic. Now look at the last two dynasties, right? I don't know if I consider the Spurs a dynasty because they didn't. Oh, I forgot it was the Spurs, not the Heat. It was the Spurs and the Warriors. But if you want to, all right. So if you're looking at the totality of championships, yes, they won 5, but they didn't win them all in one shot. Usually, when we're talking about dynasty, I'm thinking Lakers and I'm thinking Bulls. But that's a whole nother topic. Let's just, for argument's sake, let's stick with the examples they're saying right here. If you talk about the Spurs, they had Tim Duncan. If you're talking about the Warriors, they had Stephen Curry, right? So, and I think this is a brilliant point right here by the article. When Tim Duncan left, Greg Popovich was a below average coach. Tell me that's not the truth. Tell me that's not the truth. So I want to debate Spurs culture, Brownsville Spurs fan. We ain't got no goddamn Spurs culture. You tanked to get Tim Duncan, right? Incredible player. Incredible player. But what happened without Tim Duncan? Now you go and get Wemby. I don't know. To me, it just seems cheap. But in between Duncan and Wemby, you didn't do nothing. You got rid of Kawhi, and Greg Pop, like the article said, looked like a below average coach. Nonetheless, the Spurs were a dynasty. I'm not taking that away. Technically, I mean, if you want to say because they won 5 championships under Tim Duncan and Pop, okay, cool. Steph Curry won 4 championships under Steve Kerr, cool, right? Stable superstars, that's what we have. This is who they're trying to compare us to, right? And because we have this culture, right, with Jalen Brunson and the guys, the article argues that we are in the sweet spot. And the key thing, too, is the Spurs and Warriors kept their core together for over a decade. We don't got to do that. I don't think it'll be a decade. All we really have to do is just keep them together for another 3 to 4 years and at least try to get 2 championships in the next 2 to 3 years, 3 to 4 years. And I think that would be a very, very successful run comparable to any other team's run, right? So the Knicks are in the culture sweet spot. They have it. I thought that was fire. Do you guys agree with the article? Are we in our sweet spot for culture as a team that can possibly be a dynasty? What do you guys think about that? 646-995-8389. Call up. 646-995-8389. Call up. All right. By the way, smash that like button. If you didn't smash that like button, do appreciate the support. All right. Also, subscribe if you're not subscribed. We're talking about Paolo Banchero. He says the Magic are coming out the East, and to hell with the New York Knicks. That's what Paolo Banchero had to say. We're going to talk about that tonight. And my question is, though, are the Magic a threat to dethrone the Knicks? What do you guys think? Call up 646-995-8389. This is a good time to remind you, the New York edition, we are accepting pre-orders. All right. All you have to do is hit the link that's pinned in the chat, Linktree/TheObjectiveFan. All right. Not the website that's on the screen, but the one that's pinned in the chat, Linktree/TheObjectiveFan. And this is the New York edition to the 82 Night series. And this will be, a very valued product to New York Knicks fans because it's going to give you the opportunity to document the history that takes place for this upcoming season. I'm excited, and I really can't wait. I'm a summertime baby. I'm born in July, so I love the summertime. Honestly, this is the first summer I wish I could just skip past the summer. I wish I could just go to October. because I want to see. I'm dying to see more New York Knicks basketball. But if you agree and you can't wait and you love the Knicks, consider documenting the Knicks experience with the 82-night series. All you have to do is hit that link that's pinned in the chat. And also, 646, once again, 995-8389, call up. I want to take a couple of calls before I get into more topics. I'm going to give you the third hint. Y'all ready? We're giving away a rookie Jalen Brunson trading card. Tuesday. You have to be in the building. Here is hint number 3. Now, it's very important. The hints are giving you clues as to what the giveaway will be. You know, how I'm doing the giveaway. Those that follow instructions will always have the best chance to win the prize on this channel. Those who follow instructions will always have the best chance to win prizes on this channel. That is hint number 3. I will drop hint number 4 tomorrow and hint number 5 tomorrow during the podcast and the play-by-play that we're doing for the Summer League game. So make sure you're in the building. You don't want to miss shows. And we're doing the giveaway. Once again, 646-995-8389. I do believe we got a couple of callers. Let me see. Get them on the line. My man Juan, Carolina. Also, smash that like button.
Yo.
What's good, Juan?
Yeah, man. Well, I don't think these people are getting a little bit delusional.
Uh-oh.
Are
we talking about Paolo?
Let's go. It's not about Paolo, yeah. What is he? Is he taking some substances off on the off season? Like, what is he talking about? I missed 26 shots in a row without Franz Wagner.
Crazy.
Like, unless he's gonna take some crazy superstar leap, like I don't see it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't see it. And the Knicks are going to be better because they're going to have another year in the system. We're throwing more wrinkles in our offense. And we got another move we can make. I don't know what it's going to be because you never know with Rose.
You never know. I mean,
he always surprises us. So, like, I don't see it. Like, what is he talking about? And as far as the whole culture thing, look, the reason a culture can exist is because of players, right? The coaches, sure, they all implement a system, but their system and their culture cannot work without your superstar player allowing it to flourish. The reason why we got a culture is because Brunson allows himself to be coached, and he takes the lead on that. Yeah. The reason why there was a culture with the Spurs because it was Tim Duncan. I was a Tim Duncan culture.
Legendary.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. This is a Brunson culture that become a Knick culture. So like, and you
but know, do you see a difference in what Duncan and Brunson and Steph Curry's doing as opposed to LeBron going to Miami for 2 years? You know, this guy just joining KD going to the war. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just feel like there's a difference in how we're choosing to build it that makes us comparable to the Spurs and the Warriors.
Absolutely. Yeah. People are joining us. We're not going to nobody.
Exactly. Because the Warriors can tell you we won it before KD and after KD. So don't put the KD jacket on us.
No, exactly. So they can make that claim. You know what I'm saying? So 100%. It is. I think it's more respectable, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Now, I also see the side where, you know, loyalty to, like, these a lot of these teams don't always show loyalty. They trade you in when you're no longer useful. So I kind of get it, but at the end of the day, we can say, you know, we got a clever guy who built it from the ground up. You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
So
that's a fact.
We can make that claim. So, yeah. All I'm gonna say is I think we're gonna repeat If we keep doing what we're doing, Knicks won't repeat. Knicks in 2027. Yeah,
That's a fact.
Knicks champs 2027, baby.
That's a fact. I'm riding with you, man. This is our year once again. Thank you, JJ. Juan.
Later.
All right. Keep the calls coming, 646-995-8389 if you want to talk basketball. We're talking basketball tonight. The Knicks are in the sweet spot for a dynasty. Mike Brown did the impossible last season. That is getting offensive-minded players to play defense. Well, you know what? I got a lot to talk about. I got mad topics. So, if you want to call up. I'll get into some more topics. I'm gonna talk about Paolo. I want to dig into that Magic step a little deeper though. But before I do that, I want to talk about home court advantage. This was a topic that I wanted to discuss last night. Home court advantage is I think that is important. Trying to find an article. I think that is important because it was the reason why I wanted the second seed last year, right? I didn't think Boston was going to get beaten in the first round. I thought that they would at least make it to us, but they couldn't. They wasn't even good enough to do that. And now they singing sad ass songs with Mitchell Robinson. And so I feel as though in this second year with an Eastern Conference, that's definitely going to be tougher. People can sleep on the East all they want. But, NBA rule change clouds Knicks' path to reclaim key championship advantage. What do they mean? Over the course of the 25-26 season, Knicks were not the conference best team. The group that eventually came together at the end, they ended their drought, 53 years, but the Pistons and the Celtics won more regular season games. I don't think we give a damn about the regular season like that because it doesn't, just because you win the regular season doesn't mean you're going to win the postseason. But in respect to what the article is trying to say, I do think that this year we should try to get the number 1-2 seed because home court advantage was a key part of our dominance. We swept 2 teams at home with home court advantage. Right? We claimed the 3rd seed, giving us the home court against everybody else. With the NBA flattening lottery odds to curb tanking, listen to this. So essentially every team out the East decided to build a more competitive roster. So the tanking rules are making it, well, the thought process is the tanking rules that were implemented will inspire more competition and teams to build their team. And that's what we have seen in the East. Every damn team in the East besides the Milwaukee Bucks and somebody else, I feel like, but just the Milwaukee Bucks, honestly, I would argue, well, the Celtics, I think the Celtics are going to drop off, but mostly every team in the East have improved on something. That goes for the Wizards, that goes for the Pacers, that goes for everybody. So they're looking to bring it, and with a tougher Eastern Conference, I think the Knicks, we're going to have to be tougher. But reclaiming home court advantage is crucial to any of New York's aspirations to defend the title. I agree. I think we should be aiming for a top 2 seed this year, right? Whether we get the number 1 seed is not the deal, it's not the end all be all. But, I think that if we're the best team in the East, I think we should show it during the regular season as well, right? I know during the playoffs, we lock in. I know that. But home court advantage will be needed to break the NBA's no repeat trend. All right. The NBA used to have a championship formula to some degree. Teams needed a top 10 player, right, in charge, a top 25 player by his side. I think we have that with Towns. a deep supporting cast of shooting, defending specialists. We have that wing stop, Josh Hart, guys off the bench. A creative head coach, Mike Brown, to go all the way. Teams like LeBron James and AD's Lakers, Jokic and Murray's Nuggets, and Tatum and Brown's Celtics fit the bill perfectly. In this new era of parity, though, teams are built out much more completely, while Jalen Brunson and SGA indubitably led their championship squads. They had several stars in each of their supporting casts. That's facts. Towns and OG both produced superstar level performances. Salute to them. Right? And also Chet Holmgren and Jalen Williams were also instrumental in OKC's run the year before. So gearing up for next season means that things may not break so aggressively in the Knicks' favor. The 1 seed will not likely lose in 7 games to an eventual conference runner-up. So we can't rely on Detroit's, ineffectiveness to say, well, like we did last year. But I already knew that was happening. I told y'all. They hadn't won a playoff series. Detroit will be a lot better this year. Will they be better than us? No. But I do expect Detroit to be better. They made it to game 7 in the second round. Depending on how they do throughout the regular season, if they could avoid a series against us, I could see the Pistons getting to the Eastern Conference Finals. I think the Pistons I think they have the potential to be better than what they were last year. I think the Celtics are falling off, but now you got new players in Philly. Well, not new players. Philly made the playoffs last year, but they're better, right? Miami was a play-in team. I think they're better. I think Orlando, we're going to talk about Orlando. They fit into the equation somewhere. So the Knicks, we can no longer rely on the ineptitude of the first seeds in the East, because the first seeds in the East have been trash. Right? So, but we can't rely on that going forward. We need to be the number 1 seed. So that way we can complete the cipher and have home court advantage throughout. Guarantee ourselves home court advantage throughout. But what do you guys think about that? You want to call up 646-995-8389. I'm going to talk about Paolo and the Magic for a little bit. So the Orlando Magic are a very interesting team, right? I think they're one of the, besides the Knicks, I look at the Magic as like one of the top 5 most interesting Eastern Conference. Not that they finish in the top 5. I don't know. Because right now there's so much competition for the top 5. It's hard to come up with just 5 teams in the East that'll be in the top 5. But, and by the way, to all the channel members, we are going to do the brackets. If you are a channel member, I'm waiting to see the East be more complete. So once we get all of the moves out the way, we will set up the bracket challenge for channel members, right? And also channel members, we will be doing the Fantasy Basketball League as well. All right. So if you want to be a part of that, channel member, that all of that's coming. But right now, it's still formulating, so we don't know who is who. So I can't tell you would the Magic be there, but I do think that they're one of the most interesting teams in the East. Here's why. They fired their coach. So they got a new coach, and this guy comes from Greg Popovich's school. All right. He was a Spurs assistant. And I'm gonna put his name on it. Put some information about him on the screen. Go to research mode. So this is their coach. And he comes with a solid resume as an assistant, right? They were excited to welcome Sean Sweeney to the Orlando Magic family. All right. Sweeney would join the Magic as serving for the associated coach for the Western Conference champion San Antonio Spurs this past season. Wait, hold on. Does he go back to Pop? I don't know if he goes back to Pop. I think he does. I don't remember. Either way, he was with the Spurs. All right. He comes from that tree. All right. So what does that mean? Does that mean the Magic are going to automatically put it together in their first year? I don't know. But I will say this is one reason why they're confident. You know why? because they think that they can make the Coach Tibbs excuse, right? And now they got a new coach who can better utilize their roster. That's why they didn't make much changes. They did make changes, but it wasn't that much, changes like they completely changed their roster, right? And so they're arguing, and this is the swag that Paolo and those guys have. They believe that, well, we came within the game of making it to the second round again, because that wasn't their first time going to Game 7. They went to Game 7 with the Cavaliers, I think the year before last year. I think they went Game 7 with the Cavaliers in 24. Then they got dusted off by the Celtics last year, I think, in 25. And then they went to 7 this year against Detroit. So, they feel like that they were right there. And, Franz Wagner was hurt. They had a lot of injuries. So the Orlando Magic, very confident in their ability to compete in the East. And I'm going to share what Paolo Banchero had to say about the Magic. And I thought that it was, pretty interesting. I think I got it right here. Bam. At the research mode. So this is what he had to say. In terms of the balance of power in the NBA, it certainly feels like things have shifted towards the East. That's a fact. I agree with that. Have you felt something similar? Listen to this. I mean, there's a lot of big names coming to the East. I've always felt like the East is a better conference. That's a strong statement from Paolo, that he always felt like the East was stronger. Okay. Even though I think in the past we've been more slept on. That's a fact. So far, Paolo's talking facts. I think you saw that this year with the Knicks and their run, guys see it around the league. The East is wide open, in my opinion. So forget what the Knicks did last year. This year, the East is wide open. A lot of guys feel like that, and that's why a lot of free agents are coming. But I'm excited, and the team's excited. Like I said earlier, last year wasn't what we wanted. It didn't go how we wanted it to go. But a lot of people are going to forget about us and count us out. That's a fact. I feel like a lot of people are counting out Orlando, whether it's good reasons or bad reasons. Either way, I do agree that they're counted out. So it's on us to go and show that we're an elite team in this league. We got a chance to win the East. That's what Paolo had to say. So he don't give a goddamn about the Knicks. He don't give a goddamn about the Celtics or whoever else you got going in the East. He says that the Orlando Magic are an elite team, and we got a chance to come out the East. What do you guys think about Paolo's statements? I agree with everything he said about the East. I don't know if it's been like that for years, but I know last year I can make an argument that the East was better than the West. And I'm not just saying that because we won a championship, but even if you just look in the playoffs, the West only had one Game 7 series, right? Or if they did, it would maybe 2. Let me see what happened in the first round. You had Houston, LA. I don't think that went 7. You had the Nuggets. That didn't go 7. No. It was just one 7-game series in the West, right? That was the Spurs and OKC. In the East, besides the Knicks, every series went 7 games. How do you say that's not competition? That's what competition is. I'm struggling to beat your ass. If the East was weak, then the top teams in the East should have ran through the East. That's not what happened. I mean, we ran through the East because we're elite. We're the elite team. I hate to break it to you, Paolo, but we are the elite team in the East. And yes, y'all have gotten better, and the moves are not done yet, right? To the other teams, they've gotten better. But this is the Orlando Magic depth chart, right? It's a solid team. The same starting 5 from last year, all right? Anthony Black off the bench, Jamal Cain, who got his name up, right? Tristan Da Silva, and they added Vujicic to their team, okay? And, Jonathan Isaac He was brought back. He was waived and brought back. They still got Goga. They drafted this kid, Isaiah Nelson. Jace Richardson is not bad. I mean, he's not, he's just a backup player. But this is who their team is. I mean, is this a scary team, ladies and gentlemen? I think it's a good team. I just don't think they beat us. But I think this is a solid team. And they're hoping this guy, Sweeney, can come in and change the culture the same way Mike Brown did. See, we're an inspiration to these teams. They looking at the Knicks and they feeling like they got hope to do what the Knicks did, but we know what they failed to realize. Here's what they failed to realize, ladies and gentlemen, that the Knicks got Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson is the best player in the Eastern Conference. What the hell are they talking about? You can't mimic that. You got a nice team, but you don't got Jalen Brunson. So y'all gotta relax. Now, I do admit, though, and I'm the objective fan. This is Level Headed Knicks Talk. By the way, smash that like button. I do have to admit, the Orlando Magic, they do give us some tough games. They do give us some tough games. Those games are always tough against Orlando, right? Now, we never seen them in the playoffs, but in the regular season, they are a football team. They got big guys, Paolo, Franz, both 6'10". They got football players for guards, Desmond Bain and Jalen Suggs. So they're no slouches, but we got Jalen Brunson, man. See, when you have the best player in the world, you have the advantage. Then you could talk about the prowess of everybody else, Wingstop, Josh Hart, Big Bodega Cat, who's going to kill whoever's at the 5 for them. I know they signed Vujacic. I know they got Goga. I know that. But it's not going to be enough. Truth to my man, AP. AP says Orlando is elite only in Walt Disney movies. Hey. They never won it. They never, they've been to the finals twice with Shaq and Dwight Howard. But Orlando is always known for coming up short. But because of our championship run, we've been given inspiration to these teams. So now they feel like they can compete with the Knicks. And I mean, that's how you feel. I'm going to say it's easier said than done. Y'all got the same team. We have the same team. I mean, there's subtle additions. They do got Vujacic, We got Drummond, okay. But same team. Same team, same problems. We beat them in the NBA Cup knockout round. I mean, we'll see what they bring to the table, but what do you guys think? Are the Orlando Magic a threat to the Knicks? Call up 646-995-8389. Call up, voice your opinion. All right. Once again, that's 646-995-8389. Call up, voice your opinion. Talking about the Orlando Magic. Talking about home court advantage. Got a whole bunch of topics. We also talked about Mike Brown, what he was able to do last year, getting a whole bunch of offensive guys, or a couple of offensive guys to buy into the defense. But if you want to talk, 646-995-8389. You see who's in the chat. What's up, Cleo? Okay. Mr. Timothy, okay. OKF Doc, I see you. By the way, yeah, I completely disagree with Mr. Timothy. The Celtics are sorry. They singing them sad ass songs. Ain't nobody thinking about the Boston Celtics. What's good, Mike?
Hey, what's happening, Karan?
Nothing much, man. You know, we having a nice talk about the Knicks on Sunday night. Where you gonna go?
Well, I want to say that the East is that much more strong, and Philadelphia, Orlando, Detroit,
Yeah.
Indiana,
Indiana, yep. Can't forget them.
Atlanta, all of them got better, and all of them are threats to us. Because the fact is, the Knicks are coming back with the same team, and
Okay.
I hope that Bridges don't become the disappearing man at times, and that Josh Hart continues to be the glue guy, can rebound against adversaries that are bigger and stronger than him. And if that happens, let's go. But see, those are our 2 points in the starting lineup that we haven't addressed. Because if we had a guy that we could dump it down into, and that could, do some damage down there to help Cat and them out, besides Brunson being the guy in the middle at point guard, then I would say, yeah, let's rock. But I hope we can address that somehow. I hope somebody steps up. Because I'm looking at Warren, I'm looking at Dadier, and it don't seem like it may come from them. Maybe it may come from Nickel. Maybe it may come from Kyler, the new guard. Maybe. But we got some things we need to address. I mean,
So you're saying that we need to change the starting lineup? Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying that we have issues we have to address. And let's not forget, Brunson put us over the top. You are right. He's a top guy on our team. But if we had addressed our issues, then it'd be easier to win, and he could rest a little bit more. You can't keep putting that much on him every year. He'd be like Bernard King. Are we going to burn him out, or are we going to give him help? Because even sometimes Cat can't stay in the game, and sometimes he get in foul trouble, and everything falls on Brunson. And I don't want that to happen again. We destroyed with that. They came together beautiful. But we do have issues we have to address. You got guys talking about we don't need DeMar DeRozan. We need DeMar DeRozan. Just to have somebody, just in case some people disappear. Because this guy going to bring it like Brunson. And we need somebody in that starting lineup that's going to keep bringing it like my OG going to do it. You know OG coming. You know Cat going to battle. You know Brunson going to battle. But we know our other 2 guys, we don't know every series if they're going to be in there. And who do we have coming behind them? Maybe Shamet? I mean, could you tell me? Could you tell me who is going to come in the event that Bridges turns into the invisible man and Josh Hart starts clanking? Who is going to back us up with those 2 guys?
Well, I mean, I think that the Knicks offense is going to be a whole lot better. I think we got the best starting 5 in basketball. Last year we had one of the best scoring starting 5s. So I don't know, you got this thought that the starting lineup is not prolific. I think the starting lineup is prolific.
Pieces. You don't think we could add to what we have? That's what I don't want us to fall into that.
I think we're missing a backup power forward.
Yes. I just looked at Chris Sinak, and I know he's a young kid, 19 years old, but he looked damn good. And I know it's the summer league, but I mean, these are the things I get, like, seem like we get a little arrogance. You don't need to do your draft a certain way. We got good in the second round, but the first round, again, I'm going to say, Leon blows our first round off, and he made a lot of other teams better for the last 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, but we won the championship, so it didn't even matter.
Yeah, we did. No, come on, don't do that. We won the championship, but that doesn't mean. Look, I see that you saying we want to be a dynasty.
My last question. Are we the best team in the East right now? Keep it real.
Last year. This year's a different year. I like what Brunson say.
This year.
I like what Brunson says. It starts from zero again. That's how we're gonna have to think. They coming for us.
Will we go back to the finals? Do you think we
have
enough to
No. We
go
did
back?
that. That's over. 2027 is a new start for everybody.
All right. In 2027, based on what you see right now with Philly, all these teams, do we have enough to go to the final?
I don't know. It's a big question mark.
Okay. Thank you, Mike. I appreciate you, man. Thank you.
All right.
All right. Hey, that's real talk. He said he can't. He don't know. Salute to my man AP. Karan, New York Liberty, 2 games, 500. I need counseling. My brother, I don't know what's going on with the Liberty, dog. I feel guilty because I'm not gonna say I don't have no interest in watching them. It's just that every time I want to watch them, there's always something else to do, and I'm not prioritizing them. So I don't know what the hell is going on. AP, I don't know why they're losing. I know is Sabali still hurt? I mean, that shouldn't be the reason. I mean, injuries should never be the excuse. But clearly, the Lady Liberty are, they're struggling. I don't know if they're going to be able to turn. I hope they can turn it around, but the way it's looking right now, they might be first round exits in the playoffs. And I don't know what happened with New York sports, but besides the Knicks, it's going to hell. I don't know. They played tonight. I'm assuming they lost tonight, so I didn't even know they were playing. See how guilty I feel for that? I'm not even paying attention to the Lady Liberty like that. But hopefully they can turn it around. I don't know. I mean, I made the excuse for them before that they got a new team, new coach, but Mike Brown didn't let it get that bad. This guy, maybe they made the mistake in the coach. I don't know. Hopefully they turn it around. That's all I can say at this point. I really don't know what the hell is going on with the league. I have no answers. I got to get back on Twitter. There's somebody who I know who's really into them. What's good, Randall?
Hey, what's up?
Nothing much, man. Just talking about the Knicks. What's your thoughts?
Let's go.
Next season, it's gonna be real tight in the East next season. It's gonna be a dog fight in the East.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Do you think Orlando? Are we sleeping on them? Will Orlando be a little bit better? What do you think about the Magic?
With all the talent that they got on the Magic, I was feeling it last season.
Mm-hmm.
I thought they was going to be a much better team last season.
Good point.
But is it the coaching? Is it the play? Well, we're going to find out this season.
We definitely will.
Whether the coaching or not.
Yep.
One thing I can say about Orlando, their defense is very good.
Oh, yeah, they're football team.
The problem with them has been offense, scoring the basketball, shooting.
Bingo.
That's been their problem.
Bingo.
If they can correct that, they're going to be dangerous.
Well, they're going to tell you that they got Franz Wagner back, right? And Franz, missed a lot of time. So they're banking on that. The coach, they're banking on some things. That's why they're feeling confident. But can they stay healthy?
That's another issue also.
Right. So then they did the meanest finesse ever. They waived Isaac and then signed them back. I'd never seen that before.
Me neither.
They waived them and signed them back. I'm like, whoa, for the minimum. Yeah, it's crazy. That's crazy. Do you think the Knicks will be able to establish home court? Will we finally get the top seed, number 2 seed? Because right now, we've been number 3 seeded in it for the most part. Do you think that is important for us to get home court advantage?
Well, I'm going to see this. Whether they can get the number 1 seed this coming season is not an issue of talent. The question is their mentality. That's going to be the biggest question, is their mentality. How they come into the season mentally. How they go through the season mentally. Hey, Karan, you still there?
Seconds.
My fault. I said, and I was agreeing with you. And I was saying that Mike Brown, I think he will be able to get that in order early, because now we don't got to wait for people to figure out their roles, right?
Right.
For the most part, we know the roles, and now we just got to get it together and be ready for the fact that we're going to be hunted. Everybody's coming for us.
That's true.
Everybody. We might get the most national TV games ever. So we're going to be on TV every night, and we're going to get everybody's best. And, you know, I think we got the right cast of guys, you know, with Jalen Brunson and these guys. I'm just hoping that we could correct the faster starts.
Yeah. Definitely.
That's the one thing we got to prove on. But thank you, Randall. I appreciate the call, my brother.
Anytime, man. Salute.
Big time salute. You want to call up 646-995-8389, call up. I could have sworn I saw Rock call up. I don't know what's going on with this call queue, because sometimes I see people call, but then they don't show up in the queue. But yeah, if you want to call up, 646-995-8389, call up. I'm going to try Rock just to see if he did call, because I don't see him in the queue. I could have sworn I seen the number pop up, though. We try to get my man Rock on the line. Anybody know what happened to the New York Liberty, man? It's crazy. What is going on? Salute to L Figgy.
Oh,
Hello?
okay.
What's going? Did you call?
I sure did.
For some reason, it didn't show in the queue, but what's good, man? What's your thoughts? Where you want to go, my brother?
Well, you know what? I hate to disappoint you, but I don't think we're gonna be starting games fast like you want to, man. We always are. That's what we do.
Damn.
We don't. I think we get kind of bored unless our backs into the wall, and that's what it is, bro.
Damn. That's tough. I mean, but it's going to be hard to repeat like that.
Well, is it really? Because we won like that.
Yeah, but, you know, I think the competition is going to be better.
Yeah, but when you could make teams bend to your will, when you have that ability, you have that ability, bro.
Yeah, I think we could get back to the finals, but I'm saying when you get to that championship, you know, LA could be a number one offense. OKC definitely going to be a number one defense. So, like, there's certain teams you're not going to be able to just bend, you know, come back the way you did against San Antonio, because we're not going to see them again, you know? So.
You don't think we're going to see San Antonio again?
Hell no.
I don't know, Karan. Me and you had a debate over the season, and you said we were going to see OKC. I told you we was going to see San Antonio. We saw San Antonio. You forget that Chet is still scared, man. And this kid, Mara, he didn't display any kind of stopping Wemby power so far that I've seen in the summer league. So,
yeah.
And I can't imagine Jay Will being any more braver than when I told you he was up at the post conference in one of the games, said they got a guy over there that's 6'5", and he causes a lot of problems. So, as far as I know, they still got us hard. Only thing that's going to save them is that SGA is going to start mimicking Brunson and start playing off ball.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That's the only thing that's going to save them. And a lot of things, and the other thing that's going to save people against them is they're going to start studying all the tapes on how we defend them. So we'll see how they do as far as that's concerned. But I don't know. I got to see during the season, because I don't know. I just got to see during the season, because these guys just shook him last season, but maybe they could show more heart against them next season in the West. So, but I still think we're gonna make it in the East, though.
The Spurs beat a lot of injured teams, bro. Let's just call it how we see it. If those teams are healthy, I think that they'll lose to those teams. Sorry.
You think if Jay Will was healthy, they wouldn't have beat
Hell
OKC?
yeah.
Seconds.
No, they wouldn't be OKC. Hell no. Because now they got another guy who could make plays. Remember, they were trapping SGA. They were trapping SGA, and nobody else could do nothing offensively. Caruso, none of those guys could. Like when it got to Game 7, the final games of the series, 6 and 7, those other guys didn't show up. McCain, none of them.
I recall you one time saying that there's no excuses. You lose, but now you're making excuses.
No, there's no excuses.
OKC.
No, there's no excuses. The Spurs won. I'm just saying this year, I think the difference is going to be they're going to have to see some healthy teams, and I don't think they're going to be able to beat those teams when those teams are healthy.
Yeah, well,
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I got you. But I don't know. We'll see. But I think the East is going to be a little bit tighter. But we got a slight edge, but we're not finished making moves yet. So I'm curious to see what other moves we're going to make. But one thing above everybody else, though, we have familiarity on our team, so we have a chemistry on top of everybody. Everybody got to get to know each other on their teams,
Right.
you know. And I still don't know
But Orlando don't got to do that. They got the same team for years now. Well, the Suns, I shouldn't say, but you add Bane. I'm sorry, they just added Bane maybe a year or two ago. But besides them, all them players were Magics.
And the sad part about that is aside from Bane, he can't hit a jump shot. And if you pressure Bane enough, he'll start missing too, with a mix of fatigue. So
they're not. We're gonna beat them, but they talking they mess. He's saying we elite. We gonna show y'all we elite. That's what he said.
I'm willing to bet. That they run into Detroit again and knock Detroit out the box again.
I don't know. I think Detroit gonna be better, man. I think Detroit gonna be better.
You know what? I think we did too good of a job smoking everybody. We're not gonna get the same trolls we had last season, man.
Nah. But we might get new ones though. But yeah, it ain't gonna be the same ones.
I might have to go in. I might have to go into their podcast and start trolling them, man. Just have fun.
For sure, right?
Yeah,
Get them
man.
back for all last year.
Yeah,
but my trolling will be we the champions, goddammit.
Yeah, definitely.
All of
definitely,
y'all. All of y'all are second class citizens to us.
So. Yeah. But
all right, Rock. I appreciate you, my brother.
All right, take it easy.
Right. 646-995-8389. If I miss your call back because I don't see nobody else in the queue. But I'm pretty sure we got more calls. So if you called, call back now. I'll get you back on the line because I might, for whatever reason, it's not showing as a missed call. I got a crazy article that's going to trigger y'all and it's going to make y'all want to call up. Right now, because the off season kind of cooled down in terms of like movement, there's a lot of like stupid speculation. And usually I avoid stuff like this, but I don't like the speculation news all day. Oh, the speculate if this happened, or when people say all these crazy wild things, right? So let me put this on the screen really quickly. Bam. Timberwolves proposed to reunite with Karl Anthony Towns in a 5-player deal. Like I said, when I see stuff like this, usually I just go the other way because this is just ridiculous, right? But it's the off season, so I guess we got time. Y'all tell me what y'all think about this. Because because a lot of you guys say, oh, I missed this guy. I think we should get this guy back. So listen to this. The Minnesota Timberwolves are reportedly seeking additional roster upgrades to strengthen the roster behind the core of Edwards and Ball. With a bit of a long shot, there's a potential scenario that involves a high-stakes return to the former franchise cornerstone Karl Anthony Towns. In a proposed trade, Minnesota will bring back Towns from New York in exchange for Rudy Gobert, Dante DiVincenzo, Joan Berringer, and Terrence Shannon Jr. This is the trade. This framework sees the Timberwolves give up their current starting center for their previous starting center, who was traded to the Knicks. Towns played a key role in delivering New York its first championship this year, which all the more makes it any exit talk far-fetched. For sure it's far-fetched. But I put that up there, right? Because a lot of you guys say, I want Dante DiVincenzo back. This will be a way to get him back. Would you get Gobert, who's cheaper than Towns, right? He's at like 30-something million. Dante DiVincenzo back. Are you willing to get rid of Towns to bring Dante back? I think it's a dumbass trade. I don't think it makes no sense. I don't think it also makes sense to trade back for Dante DiVincenzo. I think that would be a dumb trade. You already got too many goddamn guards. Because according to the trade, it didn't say Towns and Deuce McBride and this guard for Dante. It just said Towns for Dante. We already got a ton of 1, 2, 3 spot players. We got 8 players that are 6'5" and under. Why would I trade to get another guy, 2 guys that are 6'5" and under, in Terrence Shannon Jr. and Dante DiVincenzo? I think it's a dumbass trade. But what do you guys think about this trade? I came across it while I was doing research. But I know some of you guys talk about Dante, how you want Dante back. Here's a way you get Dante back. And you have the 4 Noah boys with Rudy Gobert. Is that something that you would like? 646-995-8389. Weird ass trade. What's good, Sean?
Yo, what's going on, Karan? What's going on, chat? How y'all feeling tonight, man?
We feeling good, man. We talking basketball, man. Just some nonsense. Timberwolves trade for Dante back for Towns. Just nonsense.
Yeah. We gotta go ahead and let go of trying to reunite old Knicks players, man. We need to go ahead and move on from that. I feel like
Please.
just moving backwards when we thinking of trying to get Dante. Last night I heard a guy say he want Julius Randle back. That blew my mind, and I don't know what guy was thinking. Like,
Oh man.
what? Being a backup 4? I don't want Julius Randle ever again in the Knicks jersey. So what?
It's crazy. $33 million
man.
to be a backup power forward. Really? That's
Hey
what we're
man,
doing.
I'm not gonna hold you when he said that, Karan. That I was wondering what he was smoking, because that was just beyond crazy and beyond just unbelievable.
Yeah,
But
and then the money didn't match up. He wanted to trade Deuce McBride, Tyler Kolek. He wanted to trade a whole bunch of bench guys.
a whole bunch of bench
Crazy.
guys for a guy that's making, you said what, 30 million?
$33 million.
$33 million. And then you asking him to come back to a team to be a backup 4.
Yo, you can't make this up, bro.
And look, Karan, that's why we need you on the net. That's why we need you on YouTube, because don't get me wrong, I'm not saying everybody IQ for basketball is great, but you gotta listen to what you're saying before you come on the air and say it, because the nonsense that you spilled out to even say that was just unbelievable. I'm not gonna hold you like.
Yeah, we gotta stop. We gotta stop.
Yeah, man. But I just jumped in the chat because I was out, just came in the crib and everything. So I was wondering what you were speaking about real quick, so I can
Oh,
speak
just
on it
Paolo
just real quick.
said, he said that the Magic are an elite team and they're gonna come out the East. And they were looking to the Knicks for inspiration. That's what he said.
Here we go. First of all, I'm glad my Knicks team is the main source, the main everything right now. It's just so
That's a
happy
fact.
to see that everybody wants to copy us. But like I said in the chat, somebody said, the Spurs is going to be a dynasty and Dylan Harper is going to be great. I said this in the chat. Can nobody team reciprocate what the Knicks did because of the man at the head of the snake? Jalen
Right.
Brunson and Leon Rose, though no other team has that type of camaraderie with the front office and with the
10
favorite player or the main
seconds.
star.
Right.
Don't nobody has that. So you can't reciprocate what we made already. So with that being
Facts.
said, Orlando, and all due respect, man, Paolo, you a good player, man. I wouldn't mind you on the Knicks, but you too inconsistent for me, and there's no way y'all can stay healthy for a whole 82 games and can do what we do. You don't have no shooters just yet, and I'm not worried about the offense. El Figgy said it best. What starting five in the Eastern Conference right now is better than ours?
None.
None.
And
Absolutely
we could
none.
go league. We could go league. Let's go league.
And you're right. Matter of fact, Karan, you're right. What team in the league right now has a better starting five than us? And
None.
I'm not being biased or nothing, but in the East, I don't see no team right now that's messing with us. I'm just being completely honest. I
Yeah,
understand we
that's a
still
fact.
got a couple of months in the off season to still
Right.
do and make some moves, and everybody else. But I just don't see nobody in the East right now messing with us. Our starting five is legit. We're still building up the bench. We still got a couple of roster spots. Is it one or two?
We got technically it's two, but we only could probably afford one.
Okay, we still got one roster spot open. I'm not saying the
Mhm.
player that we're gonna get is gonna be magnificent, but we just don't know what Leon the Don got, you know what I'm saying,
Oh, he got
cooking up in
plans.
the kitchen. He got
That's fact.
plans,
He
don't
got
get me wrong.
plans. Yeah.
Exactly. He got plans. And like I keep preaching it, he got a trade coming. A trade is coming, man. I feel it, I see it, and for some reason it's gonna shock us all. So
Yes,
I'm,
it will.
I'm
It's gonna be shocking.
exactly. Exactly. So I'm not really worried. I'm sitting back, I'm watching, I'm sitting in the back, I'm sitting in the dark, and I'm just watching everybody doing what they doing because at the end of the day, I know my plans is gonna be magnificent. And that's what I think about Leon. So I'm not worried,
Facts.
man. And the Magic, the Heat, and all of them, until y'all can prove it to me, I'm not worried about them. And that's just how I'm riding.
Right.
2027 is where we're gonna be back in the finals, and that's how I'm looking at it. If to a team can show me, I'm not worried. So that's just how I'm rocking Quran.
I'm rocking with you, man.
I,
That's a great thought process to have.
I feel you. I feel you. I appreciate that, man.
Thank you. Big time salute, family.
Big time salute, man. Hey, if you need my address, I'm gonna go ahead and send that to you so I can get that Jalen Brunson card because I know it's coming to me
I'm
anyway.
glad you went there because I'm gonna say the hint one more time for the new people who joined.
All
Thank you
right,
for the
for sure,
reminder.
for sure.
Big
Appreciate you,
time salute.
gang. Salute to you and blessings to everybody.
God bless.
All
All
right.
right. Hey, by the way, I'm doing a giveaway. Rookie Jalen Brunson trading card. Do I got the image of the card up here? I don't think I got I don't think I got it. Do I? No, I don't got it. Anyway, doesn't matter. I'm giving away a rookie Jalen Brunson trading card. Okay? Doing it on Tuesday. It's going to go to a subscriber, one of you guys, right? You got to be a subscriber. That's the first thing. You got to be a subscriber. And you got to be on the show Tuesday. But here's the third hint. Every show I'm doing, I'm giving hints as to how to help you guys in the giveaway. So here's hint number 3. Those that follow instructions will always be in the best position to win prizes on this channel. Once again, those that follow instructions will always have the best chance to win prizes on this channel. So you have to follow instructions, ladies and gentlemen. It's the only way you can win the card. Right now, Jalen Brunson is on fire. So if you want to make sure you're a part of that, make sure you're in the building on Tuesday. But I want to talk about Jack Khalil. Trying to think if I should save that for tomorrow. Because he said he wanted to stay in America after his summer league performance. What was your thoughts about Jack Khalil? You think he can hoop? You think that he'll be a two-way? I think he could be a two-way because honestly, right now there is no other candidates. we don't have many two-way candidates right now. It's kind of slim pickings. And honestly, if I'm keeping it real, depending on what Leon does, whether it's a trade, for whoever, that could possibly free up another roster spot. And you could sign a Tyler Nickel to a contract. I'm not sure if that'll happen. I'm just saying it's a possibility because we saw it last year with Mo Diawara. Mo Diawara, as a rookie, he received that final roster spot. And he got the 1.2 million last year. This year it's 1.3 million, I think is the minimum. Okay. So, we'll see what happens with these rookies, but there's an opportunity for Khalil to stay. But according to the Knicks, and I'm not sure if this changed, but they was hoping that he'd stay in Europe. They wanted to stash him. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen there. But if you do want to call up 646-995-8389, salute the Papa Giorgio. I see you in the building. Definitely not. I'm not trying to trigger you. I'm just, hey, I just do my research, man. Paolo said they elite and they coming out the East. He said, yeah, the Knicks did what they did last year, but this is our year, But yeah, I see y'all not feeling that Towns trade either. Yeah, that Towns trade was just nonsense. But to all you Dante DiVincenzo people, I know y'all was in your mind like, ooh, we get Dante back. Here's what y'all was saying. I know it. Watch this. Y'all was saying, ooh, Rudy Gobert plays defense. And we get Dante back. Ooh, that sounds like a good trade. Maybe we should trade Towns. This is nonsense. That is just nonsense. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm not trading Towns. He's the best center in the East. Why would I trade Towns? It's ridiculous. Ridiculous. That's pretty much just giving Minnesota a championship. Because all Towns is going to do is take everything he learned from the New York Knicks to Minnesota. And Ant-Man is fire. You put him with Ant-Man and now Ball, they got a shot. Salute to the chat, though. Hey, yeah, salute to Sean. Level-headed Knicks call. You got a caller, but I'm not sure if they meant the call. Let me see. Yeah, I'm going to talk about the rookie tomorrow. We'll go into more depth with that conversation tomorrow. What's good, Cav?
Yo.
We in the building, family. Where you want to go, man?
Hey, what's up, Karan? My guy.
Let's go.
Hey,
Where
yo,
you want to go,
late. I know I'm
Mhm.
late, but congrats on that 5K, bro.
Oh, thank you.
Congrats on that 5K.
Thank you. I appreciate
yes, sir,
that.
Yes, sir. And I mean, listen, man. Look, man, the Knicks, we great, man. We a great team. We got nothing to worry about. I don't think there's a team that we can look at and say they better than us in the East. I mean, we can get to the West, but as far as the East, there's no team in the East that can beat us. Even if we can literally go with the same lineup that we finished the season with, and I feel like we're gonna go straight to the finals.
Mm-hmm.
But I do,
Mhm.
I do hope that. Matter of fact, I don't even hope because I know Leon. I think before the season starts, I think we'll have a different lineup. I think we'll have different guys in the team. I think it won't even if if we sign one of these guys or trade for
Mhm.
Diabate or something like that. I think the roster we see today, we might see two. I don't know. We stay. I think Nick was probably the best young guy we got right now because everybody in the summer league looking shaky to me. What you think?
Yeah, I'm not really impressed with nobody else. I thought Jack Khalil, redeemed himself, but Does that mean I will sign him? I don't know, but yeah, I'm not impressed with the summer league team at all.
Nah, me neither. And then like Modi Awara, he ain't even playing well. Like, what's up with him? Like, he was a gem last year. We hit him in the playoffs. You know what I mean? We didn't even play him. And then now it's like, it's your time to show people. And then Daddy, this is his third year. He ain't showing nothing.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what's up. But I'm just glad we got the best starting five. I think that's the best thing. And
That's
I
a
think,
fact.
yeah, I think we got 5 All-Stars. And I said it, man. We got 5 All-Stars. That's my opinion. But you know, I just you know, I mean, if there's any team I'm worried about, it's probably OKC in the whole NBA.
Okay, that's fair.
In the whole NBA, and the Spurs. I think if we play Spurs again, we got it. I don't know what you think.
I have no faith in that happening. I don't think the Spurs get back, bro. I think, you know, they had a good year last year. Salute to them, but you know, I can't see everybody being hurt this time. I think they're gonna play against some juggernauts that's gonna be healthy. You know?
I'm saying, but now these young guys, you gotta understand, they tasted it last year. So if you thought they were hungry last year, I mean, you don't think this year they're gonna come back even hungrier?
I'm not sure when you started watching basketball, but there was a team in 95. Their name is the Orlando Magic. Everybody thought the Orlando. Yeah, everybody was like, "Oh man, they a dynasty.
And
They gonna do all these things." And what happened?
Facts.
So yeah, we can think that a team is gonna do things, but the reality sometimes it just doesn't pan out. You know, it took Boston a long time.
I heard you say that exact thing before, and I agree with that. But I don't know, man. It's just something about like having a guy like Wemby who's just something like you just don't see a guy like that. You know, and matter of fact, the dude is not even 7'4". Excuse me, the dude is like 7'7", bro. Honestly, bro, he like 7'5" at least, 7'6" maybe. Like,
yeah, he like Dawson from Street Fighter.
Come on, man, for real. Yo, you know,
Yoga Flame.
Yo, for real, man. Yo, but he changes every offense. I mean, you seen it. Like, as soon as the dude was benched in the finals, bro, like, you seen us attacking the rim immediately. Like, you know, they had to substitute back in within like 45 seconds because it was that, you know, we were just taking advantage of Cornette and the other guys because we just wanted to play our game so bad, but he just didn't allow us to, right? And then you got guys like Dylan Harper, like, dude, that kid, man, let me tell you, bro, like, oh man, bro, there's no doubt in my mind that he's gonna be an all-star, and then having Wemby, that's why I believe. And again, yeah, you can't pan back to the Shaq. There was no one like him and Penny. I get that. But that's once in a blue moon, man. Usually when you have a team like that, and they flooded with young guys. You know, you got.
Yeah, but will they be able to keep? Will they be able to keep those guys?
You got.
But will they be able to keep all of those guys? That is the question. Because Detroit right now,
now. That's the thing.
Exactly, because Detroit right now is still in negotiations with Duran. We don't even know what the hell's happening over there. So, you know, you have to keep the talent together. That's a part of the packaging. But I think that right now, first off, I have no confidence in Wemby's ability to hold up. You know, we can't forget. You said he's 7'7", right? Usually 7'7" guys don't last long in the NBA.
But not with a guy like that, or the way he moved, the way he's so swift, like that dude. But I don't know, man. I don't know.
Go look up Manute Bol from the 80s. Manute Bol.
I remember. I know that.
Back in the day.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. So we seen the 7'7" slim guy before. It's not the first time we seen this.
I mean, Yao Ming was 7'6", right? I mean.
No, I'm just trying to give you a slim guy.
No.
Because people say, he don't got that much weight. Okay, well. Go look at that guy from back in the day. They don't hold up. So I'm not wishing it on him.
Right.
I'm just saying that nothing is guaranteed.
No,
so just because you're young and good, it don't mean that, this is going to be the future. We're going to be a dynasty. Like, that is crazy. First of all, you got to win your first championship. Before we could talk about dynasty, you got to get one.
No, I was just saying.
No, you didn't say that. I'm just saying people say that.
Next year. That's all I'm saying. Because if they was
Yeah,
hungry
no.
last year, they're a pretty good team. I'm pretty sure they're gonna come back hungry this year. That's all I was trying to say.
I know, I
don't really
got you.
care
I
about
just
the
think
Spurs.
that
I
they.
could care less about them.
No, I know, but I'm just telling you, like, the reason why I don't have confidence in them, because I think they're gonna run against an older team that's not gonna be hurt, and they're gonna knock their ass off.
I mean, but who else in the West besides OKC? I mean, I think the Lakers got a little better, but who else you
I'm
think?
telling you, the
They beat the
Lakers.
Spurs.
I wouldn't count Denver out. I think Denver has the blueprint. You see how everybody talk
Denver?
about? Listen, okay,
I
listen.
can see.
Remember how
Okay.
everybody was hyped on? Remember how the Spurs dominated OKC in the regular season? Remember that?
Of course. Yeah.
Okay, Denver dominated the Spurs in the regular season. Dominated. They dominated the Spurs in the regular season. Like, seriously. Like, they got the blueprint of how to beat Wemby. Jokic figured it out. I'm going to stay right there in that top of the key. Bring his big ass out there. Yeah, I'm taking him away from the basket. They got the recipe to beat him. Trust me, they do.
They probably got the guy who's like the kryptonite to Wemby, but they don't got the team. Now, if you said Minnesota, I could see Ant and these guys maybe, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know about Denver. I mean,
All right, you sleep on Denver if you want. I'm telling you, if they come across Denver in the second round,
I respect them.
Listen, if the Spurs play Denver in the second round, I'm taking the Denver for sure. 100%.
Well, it depends how the season was looking.
I don't even need to see the season. I'm telling you, if the Denver is facing the Spurs in the second round, I already know what they're going to do. I know what Denver's going to do. They're going to force Wemby out there. Because if Wemby don't come out there, then Jokic is just going to light your ass up. Whoever you put on him. Yeah, put Tobias Harris. I know they got Tobias Harris, but we're going to see. We're going to see.
We definitely gonna see. I can't wait till the season start, man. There's so many question marks right now, yo.
A lot of question marks. Yo, honestly, I'm a summer guy. I love summertime, right? Go to the park, chill, hang out. But honestly, bro, I'm ready to skip the summer. Like, if I could skip the October, bro.
Let's do it.
What? If I could just fast forward to October right now, I ain't gonna lie, I would do it. I ain't gonna lie. I definitely would do it.
First preseason game right now.
Yeah, I want to get right to the preseason. Straight up. I'm ready for the season.
Fans want to see that. Like, we down to see them. You know, we got to see the rings. We got to see the banners coming down the rafters. We got to see that, you know, and then throughout the season now it's like we champs. Like, you know, now you're gonna see everybody coming after us, like you said. And
100%.
Oh man, it's gonna be beautiful. We're gonna hold our own.
It's gonna be crazy.
I swear, bro. With that starting five, we're gonna hold our own because everybody in that team knows how to win and none of them give up. Matter of fact, in the championship when Josh Hart missed them free throws and they remember he immediately went down and these guys went around them and picked them up. I promise you, Josh Hart won't never do that again. He learned his lesson that night. He ain't never gonna do that again, bro. But
that's
you
a
know,
fact.
that just shows you just how this team is, man. And you know, it doesn't matter. You know, if you send Kawhi back to Toronto, we smack Toronto. Toronto got nothing on us. You know what I'm saying? You know, Giannis in Miami, I don't care. Not gonna help y'all. You know what I mean? Like, none of these moves really, even Jaylen Brown to Philly doesn't scare me, bro. Like, okay, you swap PG for Jalen. That doesn't scare me, bro. Like, we done had everybody number. We done beat everybody in the East.
Exactly. We beat you already. We beat Brown. We beat Philly.
Right.
I mean, this losers getting together.
Last year, what they said? Oh, y'all got the lucky route. Oh, y'all played Philly and Cleveland. Y'all skipped Detroit and Boston. But the year before we got to the Eastern Conference, who we beat? Detroit and Boston. We beat every team in the East the last 3 years.
We beat everybody.
You know, it was a grind these last 4 years, and people don't understand unless you're a Knicks fan that it was a grind. It just didn't happen over, you know, just like that. No,
overnight.
It was a grind. You know what I mean? And if we finally did it, and Jalen Brunson is that man, he the GOAT, man. There's no one like him, man.
No one like him, man.
And then he got the teammates' trust. He played with these guys not only in college as well. Like, so, and then everybody just comes together. Cat, New York guy, like, he's loving it, man. That's why he ain't going anywhere. Like,
100%,
you know, that
man.
trade that was put up there, whoever wrote that, man, I don't know, smoking some good stuff.
Right, the people are bored. You know, I skip over stuff like that. I don't even bother to respond, but I just figured, you know, I might as well just trigger y'all tonight. But I appreciate you, Kev, man.
It's all
Great
good,
call, man.
Yo, thanks a lot, Karan. Yo, keep doing your
No
thing,
doubt.
man. Much love, man.
Thank you.
All right,
All
much
right.
love. Have a good one. Let's go Knicks.
Let's go Knicks. Oh, I forgot to show y'all. I got a new sound. That's the vampire sound because it's after 11 o'clock. All the late night people, man. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna lie. There is one move that, you know, I'm not spooky in the woods now. I'm not spooky in the woods. You ain't gonna put me in the woods. But there is one move in the Eastern Conference that concerns me a little bit. That is if LeBron goes to the Sixers. I'm not gonna lie, that's a little concerning to me. Only because now you got somebody with IQ who knows how to win a championship and who will take pressure off of Joel Embiid, right? Who you don't even know if he shows up. But at the end of the day, you got defenders, you got isolation players, you got Maxey running pick and roll, running all over the place. He can get 30. LeBron to the Sixers, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not saying we can't beat them, but that would be tough. Now, anywhere else he goes, Cleveland, I mean, that's easy work. Miami, that's easy work. I don't get any other team in the I don't give a damn. But if he goes to Cleveland, to Philly, I'm not gonna lie. That's gonna be tough. I'm not saying we can't beat them, but the dynamic he's gonna bring in terms of making other guys' lives easier, I ain't gonna lie, it's a little compelling. But we still got the best starting five. They still don't have nobody who to deal with Brunson. There's a lot of elements there that I think still favor us. We still got Cat. I'm taking Cat over Embiid, even though Embiid is Embiid is Embiid, right? But I'm not gonna lie. LeBron to the 76ers. I ain't gonna lie. It's tough. Salute to the chat. Y'all want to call up? You can 646-995-8389. There's some taller players than Wemby out there. I don't think they're that good. To the person who said there was a 7'9" guy, he won't make it. Like you gotta what Wemby has is the fact that what makes Wemby special is his ability to score on the perimeter. And he's faster than the average 7'4" guy. He's not slow and super slow and doofy, you know. So he has a little agility. He covers a lot of ground, especially defensively. I think that's what makes him special. But will he hold up? I don't know. I think it's going to be very difficult to be 7'4", 7'5", and last long in the NBA because he's in the catch-22 position, right? He can't really gain weight because that'll take away from his agility, his ability to move. You know, and then he becomes Yao Ming. Well, Yao Ming was nice, but there were limitations that came, and more weight usually leads to more health problems too. Because now you got more size on that frame, and you still got to carry that frame around. You know, it's not, you know, I don't know. I got to see it to believe it. But all of that, oh yeah, they're young, man. They should be here. You've all heard that story before. There was a lot of young people that were supposed to do all of these things, and they never did it. I'm a very practical guy, right? You got to at least get one. before we start, like, the reason why we could talk about Knicks and Dynasty is because we won a championship, right? We would sound foolish saying the Knicks are a dynasty and they didn't win a championship yet. Salute to the live chat. Okay, yeah, I agree. Oh, by the way, salute to the Knicks Tape Madness Discord server. I think y'all might have convinced me because there was like, I should write an article on Wemby, why his sacrifice is nothing like Jalen Brunson. Or honestly, I would be bold enough to title the article that, you know, Wemby's sacrifice is technically not a sacrifice. That would be the title of the article. I'm thinking I might write that. But I might keep the Jalen Brunson angle because I'm a Knick guy. So I might say something like what Wemby did is nothing like what Brunson did or something like that. But really what I'm trying to say is it's not technically a sacrifice. Not technically. It could be, but we'll see. And no, it's not on the level of what Brunson did. Because we've seen what Wemby done before. We've seen that before, right? Wasn't unprecedented. Now, what Brunson did was unprecedented to turn down all that money, right? What Wemby did has been done many, many times. So, you know, you can spare me with the theatrics of trying to improve his public persona. I still think that he's a dirty ass player, and he's a glorified silver medalist, and he's a crybaby. All in that order. So, France won the gold medal when he didn't go. How about that? How about when Wemby didn't go to play with France, they won the gold medal. When he went, they lost twice. Yeah. Let's talk about it. If you want to go there. I see you, L Figure. You cooking. Hey, yo. Miggy, what was that? Miggy, hey, yo. Yeah, we gonna see. I know the OKF Doc agrees with me. Maybe I have to do a conversation with the Doc about Wemby, why he thinks Wemby won't hold up. Salute to the OKF Doc. Because he was always talking about it and how he won't hold up is physics. Because, you know, he's a doctor. He's in sports medicine. So he had an interesting perspective on that. Maybe we'll experiment on that more so sometime down the line. Especially if we got to see Wemby. By the way, I got an interview I've been holding for a year now. I got to put it out. I want to start doing interviews. I just got to figure out, like, see, with me, I'm somebody, you know, it has to make sense for me. So the interview is fire. I just feel like there's certain elements that I want to add to it. I talked about this before. I interviewed a guy. His name is James Baker. He went to school with Walt Clyde Frazier back in the Southern Illinois days, back in the 60s. And so, you know, he was telling a story about his time with Clyde and things of that nature. But how I want to do my interviews is like, I want to tell a story. You know, I think like my most interesting interviews are ones that have stories, or when the interviewer is helping tell the interviewee's story. I love that. So there's elements I want to add to it because Walt Clyde has a very interesting history when you talk about his collegiate days. So I want to fill in some of the gaps of things that we didn't get to. And there's a certain way I want to conduct the interview because I just want to be different. I'm just always different. That's one thing about me. Very different. But I think I'm going to write that article. I want to commit to writing an article a week, but the problem with me is that I got to be inspired to write. You know, like I was inspired to write the articles I did write. We're staring down at the mountaintop at OKC. You know, I was inspired to write that. What was the other article I wrote? I wrote another article too. Shame I can't remember it. But I was supposed to write the Team of Destiny article, but I don't know. I wasn't really feeling it, because I seen a lot of people talking about Team of Destiny, and I was like, I'm good. Plus, I did read some really good articles that were, surrounding the team's championships and things of that stuff. El Figgy, I mean, that's my goal. I would love to interview. I guarantee you, if I interview any Knick, especially from the 90s, man, it's going to be one of the most interesting interviews that you ever see. Because you see, one thing about me, I like basketball. Like, out of all of the basketball podcasters, my favorite podcast, which was one of the first NBA podcasts, was the Knucklehead podcast. I'm not sure if you ever heard that podcast. I don't think they do it no more. They might. I don't know. I've kind of fell out of touch with it. But that was with Darius Miles and Quentin Richardson. They had the best podcast to me because they only talked about basketball stories. They wasn't really harping in on the negative stuff. Like, they were just talking basketball. Like, what was basketball like in wherever you came from, right? Then they would go from there to high school to what was like to be recruited for college, and did you were drafted, because Darius Miles was the first pick in the draft, right? So, if they interview a first pick, they'd be like, oh, it's a certain class of first pick. It just was a fire. I loved it. I love that pod, because I like to hear the story. That's what I'm into, so, and people want to hear stories. So, that's more of what my interview style would be. But yeah, I would do a really good interview for any former Knick. So yeah, that's what I'm looking to doing. I'm looking to do interviews. So don't be surprised if you look up one day and you see that, especially the 90s, because I did so much studying of the 90s Knicks, just looking back, reading books on it. It was a beautiful time. It's no longer my favorite ever. Now, and I said this last year. I love the 90s. That was my favorite era until Jalen Brunson got here. Once Jalen Brunson came to the Knicks, I was like, yo, today. Like, why we always got to look back to back in the day? So today is my favorite era. I love the 90s, but hey, we won the championship, goddammit. But even before we won the championship, I've just loved today. I'm not somebody who always thinks that the past is better. Oh, back in the day, this, that, and the third, people think that the past is always better than what you're seeing in the present. I'm not that person. The past was great, but there's greatness happening every day. Don't lose sight of that, because you're so caught up into the old school. I feel you, El Figgy. That's what we doing. I know some people that know some people. I'm supposed to be having some conversations. There's some things in the works. I just, I've been really busy. Working on the 82 nights, everything I do myself, trying to get these designs right. For the new merch that's supposed to be coming out. Salute to Cleo. Oh man. Hey, y'all fire in the chat. The chat is fire. Salute to my man AP. He says, for me, Jalen Brunson cancels out the 90s. I'm not mad at that statement. I'm not somebody who, once again, listen, I love the 90s Knicks, before Brunson came. You couldn't tell me nothing about the 90s. It was the best thing ever. But do you know what I realized, right? I realized that we didn't win the championship. So there's no way this era could be the greatest ever. We didn't win. So I used to say things and people disagree with me. I don't want a 90s Knicks era. I don't want a blue collar grit grind. I don't think we need that. Oh, you got to have grit and grind in New York. Why? We never won. We never won with the grit and grind. I'm sorry. We never won with that. When you go to the 70s, those guys were two-way players in the 70s. Walt Clyde gets buckets and he plays defense. Willis Reed get buckets and he plays deep. Those guys were star players in the 70s. It was a different era. Then you get Earl of Pearl Monroe. Earl of Pearl Monroe was a superstar. A superstar back in the day. So that those teams had the right ingredients, the right formula. When we got to the 90s, and I blame Pat Riley for this, he was the engineer of this bad boy Pistons. But you know what we forgot? And this is what Pat Riley made a mistake. Pat Riley made the mistake because you're trying to build the bad boy Pistons, but you did not have Isaiah Thomas. Isaiah Thomas was the key to the bad boy Pistons. There is no bad boy Pistons without Isaiah Thomas. And I'm not saying Magic Johnson, I'm not saying Mark Jackson was as good as Isaiah Thomas, but he was the closest thing we had. And Pat Riley traded away Mark Jackson because he said that he was too small. He was too small. Could you believe that? Ewing's best year, Figgy, we talked about this on the member show. Ewing's best year was 1990. Guess who was his point guard in 1990? Mark Jackson. Right? So we didn't have the offensive firepower to combat the ball-headed guy. That's why we never won. So what AP's saying is it's hard to argue against them. For me, Jalen Brunson cancels out the 90s. I'm going to keep it real. When we got Towns and Bridges and all of that, and, we were third-ranked offense, very high-ranked offense. We actually was like number 2, number 1 a lot of the season under Tibbs. The offense was really prolific, and then it fell off because Brunson got hurt, and, then we made the shift to defense, and Mitchell Robinson came back, so the team became more defensive-oriented, so we dropped in our offensive rating. But in the first half of that season under Tibbs, we had first off, we had the highest scoring starting lineup with the same starting lineup we have now. They were the highest scoring. And then Denver overtook us, right? But I was feeling that because in my mind, the ball-headed guy, that Houston Rockets, all those teams got buckets, bro. We were trying to parade with a defensive philosophy, and it just wasn't good enough. It just wasn't good enough. So AP, it's hard to listen, man. It's hard. It's hard to. How do you challenge that? 1994 was a devastating loss, and it still hurts today. Hey, I'm gonna tell you right now. During those days, I was very young. But I just remember being super duper sad, bro. I remember the excitement from all of the older people that, the bald-headed guy is not there. This is our year, right? I think we were the favorites in 94, too, to come out the East or something like that. I don't think we was, I'm not sure if he was the favorite to win the championship, especially in the playoffs. I know he wasn't. But I think we were the favorite to come out the East in 94. All right? Because the bald-headed guy wasn't there. He went to go play baseball. So we got to the finals. There was no Chicago in our way. And we beat Chicago, honestly. We beat the, Scottie Pippen and those guys. So, it was really devastating. And then in 94 to be up 3-2. See, that's the next part. It wasn't like the 99. See, 99, we didn't have a prayer's chance in hell. But in 94, you were up. Imagine how you feel. You up 3-2 in the finals. No ball-headed guy. We about to win the championship. And then game 6 and 7 happened. Anyway, nonetheless, 94 was devastating. I think 94 was more devastating than 99. You know, of course, 99, I was a lot older, so I was, you know, I had more basketball knowledge in 99 than I was in 94, right? So for me in 99, I'm like, Ewing was hurt. You know, like realistically in 99, what were we going to do without Ewing against the Twin Towers? You know, so we didn't have a fair chance in hell. So yeah, I agree with you. But, and also salute to the OKF dot for the Jews. But that's my point though. Like, you know, I love the 90s, but I'm a fan of today. I think today is way better than the 90s. Way better. You know, and no offense to the 90s though. But today is just, it's a different era, man. It's a different time. It's our time. And that's what we have to, you know, appreciate as Knicks fans, that this is our time. And honestly, I'm going to keep it real. I think we could repeat. And I wouldn't be surprised if we repeat. Depending on who we add to the bench. But I wouldn't be surprised. I'm not saying that as a guarantee, because nothing is guaranteed and you just never know. But I wouldn't be surprised. And AP, every time you say this, I ride with you, because he says we need 93, 94, 97, 2013, 99, 2024, 25. Well, we got back 99. So let's take away 99. But 93, 94, 97, 2000, all right, 13, 24, 25. So we need championships for all of them. Now, I'm not saying we're going to get all of those back, but I do think we could avenge 94. We could avenge possibly 93 in the 3P. I think it's possible. I think Jalen Brunson is phenomenal. You know, I will never doubt Jalen Brunson, ever. I just think that he's incredible, man. And then the other four guys, they just know they role. Like, all of that ego talk, like people used to call up the show, yeah, the Knicks got ego problems and Towns was upset. I never believed that. I thought all of it was cap, because this, honestly, I'm going to keep it real. This is one of the most unselfish teams I've ever seen. Guys don't really give a damn about shooting the ball. Sometimes I would get upset because I'm like, dog, somebody needs to shoot the goddamn ball. Like, what's going on? Yeah, so, you know, I don't know. I'm just riding with the 2000s Knicks, man. By the way, smash that like button. And if you called and I'm not calling you back, is my bad, but because I can't see the queue. Like, so I'm possibly missing out on calls. I don't know why it's doing this. I'm gonna try to upgrade it after the show, troubleshoot it, see what we could do. But somebody sent me a Cash App. My man Trey sent me a Cash App saying he's trying to get up in here, but he's not in the queue. Let me get my brother Trey on the line. All right. And also, while you're at it, subscribe, because well over half of you who watch, you're not subscribed. Let me get my man Trey from Queens up in here.
Please leave your message for 516.
Okay. Trey, call me back. Trey, call me back. I can't get you. I tried. Call me back, Trey. I didn't see you in the queue, but I did get the Cash App. Yeah, call me back, my brother. Give him a second to call up. But I feel you though, AP. All right. Oh, there he goes. What's good, Trey?
What's the word, my boy? Yeah, I see you having a little technical difficulties. It's all good, bro. You know what I mean?
No, yeah. I don't know. The calls are not showing up in the queue, but where you want to
Yo,
go, my brother?
Let's
all right,
go.
I'm triggered. I'm triggered, damn it. Listen, man. I don't give a damn about Pat Ewing. I don't care. I
Oh
don't
God.
care, bro. I don't even listen, man, after I got my chip, I don't give a damn about the 90s. You ain't get it done, Pat. I know that. I don't care about Melo. Melo, you used to be one of my favorite players. You came here, you ain't get it done. But that boy Jalen Brunson, he got it done. That's the best Nick ever that I've ever witnessed alive in my 40 years on this planet. That's the best Nick I've ever seen, damn it.
Okay.
And then you got to think about it too, Corona. I was thinking, I had an epiphany this morning. I woke up, I smoked my first J. I said, yo, Trey, I think Jalen Brunson might be the best player in the league because he took out Wemby, so he's not the face of the league. Get out of here, crybaby.
Right.
So now the only person I would say, okay, is he better than Shea? Shea with the MVPs, that's the only guy I could say. Well, how about this? Shea, you ain't get it done against Wemby and them. You ain't put the team on your back and go out in the blaze if you have to. I don't know if you even had 40 points in that Western Conference. I don't know if you had a game with 40. I don't know, Karan.
I
But
think the last game was 39 or 30 something.
39. Okay,
Yeah.
but I do know this. When we asked Jalen Brunson to turn into Michael Jordan, he did it. Shay, when they asked
That's
you
a
to
fact.
turn into Michael Jordan, you did not. So
Oh.
we might have the best player in the league. And I see why Josh Hart a lot of times is reluctant to shoot. He's like, yo, Trey and Karan want me to shoot more. He's like, nigga, I got the left-handed Jordan. That's more shots for him to get into a rhythm. You know, the way they play together, that Villanova crap, I ain't buy it at first. But in this playoff run, I'm like, yo, they in sync. They were in sync. You know what I'm saying? And yo, man, Knicks Nation, we might have the best player in the league. Man, it feels good to be a.
He's the best in the world. I'm not shying away from it no more. He's the best in the world. He's the champion, goddammit. That's all that matters.
He is, bro. He's the champ. Yo, he's the face of the league for me. If y'all niggas want to do the weeping Wemby, and that's y'all goat, have at it. Have at it, damn it. Yeah, man. And yo, come on, man. When niggas want to call you and talk about, yo, but the 90s and yo, it was lit. F that. It ain't produced no ring, man. It ain't produced no ring. Patrick Ewing was not, he wasn't even a top 5 player in the league. We ain't even have a top 5. It was 8 niggas better than Pat back then. Come on, man. That nigga body broke down. In 3 years, that nigga was Joel Embiid, man. Knee brace after knee brace. Out of here with Pat.
Seconds.
Come on, man. Tired of this shit, man. I'm triggered, man. Yo, Jalen Brunson just turned into Jordan for us and gave us a ring. How dare you disrespect that man and talk about Allen Houston and Larry Johnson and Pat? Pat? Nah, my nigga. Yo, come on, man. Listen, man, I'm still a champ. I ain't gonna be triggered too much. You know, shouts out to the gang, man. Nick Nation, I'm gone, man. 100.
Thank you, Trey. Great call. Hey, you know what? Trey's very critical of Patrick Ewing, but it's hard to say he's wrong. I mean, my thing is this, right? You know, the grit and grind. You gotta be tough. We didn't win. We didn't win with that philosophy. Yeah, we went to the finals, we won games, but we never won the championship. The two-way team, you know, there was 3 teams. I'm not sure about OKC. I don't remember where they fit offense. I know they was top 10 offense, defense. But it was the Spurs, Celtics, Knicks that were top 6 in offense and defense in the league. right? So we were a two-way team. We wasn't just an offensive team, or we wasn't just a defensive team. We could do both at a very high level, right? And then in the playoffs, we became the number one offense and number one defense, right? So it is what it is. I got you, Sean, on the callback. And my man AP says he's right about that all standards are higher. Now, facts, the standards are higher. For sure. The standards are definitely higher now. I think that the offense is way better now. And I think the Knicks made the mistake in the 90s by not getting a point guard that had more of a fat, because there wasn't a lot of scoring guards like today. Like today, every point guard is a scoring. But in the 90s, I feel like the Knicks neglected their point guard position. And that's no offense to nobody who was a point guard in the 90s. It's no offense. I get it. I respect it. But at the same time, we had Mark Jackson, bro. And we traded him away when our offense was better when we had a Mark Jackson, because now you got somebody who can facilitate and make Starks and all of these guys' lives easier versus the other options we had at point guard. Derek Harper was no slouch. I'm not, but let's keep it real. He wasn't in his prime when he was with the Knicks. He wasn't in his prime. As much as we love the other guards, to me, we needed more of an all-star caliber point guard to go with a big guy. That's what we have today. We got the all-star point guard with the all-star center. We didn't do that in the 90s. All right, get my man Sean back on the line. If I miss your call and I didn't call you back, it's because I didn't see. I don't see the queue for some reason. What's good, Sean?
Yo, KP, what's going on, man?
Nothing much, man. We having a conversation about today's Knicks, and people started talking about the 90s. Where you want to go?
Yeah. So I wanted to comment on that. I had said this in the chat. Like I said, I'm 27, so I ain't really see too much of the 90s and nothing.
Oh, okay.
But I did, what I'm saying, do my research, watch some highlights and everything. And don't get me wrong, Patrick Ewing was great. I'm not gonna sit here and be disrespectful to the greats that came before us or anything like that.
Right.
But just my opinion from watching certain games and certain highlights and reading certain articles. Latrell Sprewell, I feel like was a good main entity and a main guy on that team in the 90s. That's just for some reason. That's just me. I'm not taking no discredit from Patrick Ewing, but I think Sprewell, it's just something about him. He just embodied that New York grit, that New York everything. So that's what I just want to say on that. Now, saying who is great and who is better, I'm gonna be honest. You know me. I'm a Carmelo fan. Been a fan of him since he came out of Syracuse. But I'm gonna just be real with y'all, and I'm gonna be real honest with y'all. Carmelo was about that bag, man. So that's why he didn't do too much. So to me, I gotta
You
give
sure
it to
about
Jalen
that?
Brown.
Are you sure?
I think Carmelo was about his money because
that was Phil Jackson who messed the team up, dog. Had nothing to do with Carmelo getting money. Had nothing.
No. And Coron, you absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Phil Jackson.
Because if he would have sacrificed money, right, now he has less money and still no ring with Phil Jackson, dumbass. He would have went and got some dude who played with the Lakers back in the 90s. Come on. We got to stop, dog. Yeah.
You're right. But look, hold on. I say this because the only reason why I say this is because Carmelo, let me rephrase this. Carmelo was about his money, but on the court sometimes he was just about his stats too. Carmelo wasn't a team player sometimes. And that's just me. And I could be wrong. And correct me if I am wrong, because you've been watching the game longer before me. But from what I've seen and from what I was watching, bro, Carmelo was about his stats and about getting him. Don't get me wrong, Carmelo was a great player. He was one of the most unbelievable scorers in the game at the time when he played. I'm not denying that. I really, really salute the man. And like I said, he's my favorite player. But I seen games where Carmelo gave up sometimes. I seen games where Carmelo would just shoot, 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 and then other players around him would just be standing there. It's like, how can we play a game like this with a ball dominant player like Carmelo is? Look at Jalen Brunson. I'm not comparing them to two. Hold on, real quick. I'm not comparing the two, but I'm just saying like they playing style. Jalen Brunson was so ball dominant. He did what he could do, but he ran out of gas last year in the Pacers game, but also got injured too, so that can add to that. But he was so ball dominant, he got ran out. And when we put two to the ball, he got so tired quick, you couldn't do too much. The other guys didn't get in the rhythm. So that Pacers series, if it weren't for Cat, I think them boys would have swept us, if we being real honest. Boom. Look transfer to this year to him being off the ball more and how more of the offense came into a bigger expand. OG go off. Mikhail have a better game after Atlanta game 3. Look at Josh Hart. He did his thing. I just feel like even though when you're a ball dominant player, you gotta learn how to play team ball and know when to pick your options to play good and to play, you know what I'm saying, your game and to when not to play your game.
So two things I want to say. One,
Okay.
Sprewell only played 1 year in the 90s. I gotta save you there. He only played 98, 99. He wasn't there in 96 or 94. But Ewing was the man. It's just the problem with Ewing was I felt like the Knicks management at the time, they failed him because they didn't get him a point guard. If you look at a lot of the teams in the 90s, they had multiple all-stars, right? Multiple great players, whether it was the Bulls, whether it was Houston. I feel like the Knicks, we only really had Ewing. Starks and those guys were good, but, there's no way you can compete against a Jordan and a Pippen. It's just a whole nother level of bad. Like the 96 Bulls were a number one offense and number one defense. That's the only time in history we've ever seen that. Maybe the Warriors might have did it. I'm not 100 on that. But I know for a fact that the 96 Bulls was the number one offense and number one defense.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a whole. So, but there's another thing too about Melo. Melo made the playoffs every year of his career before he came to the Knicks, for the record. Denver had really good teams. The problem with the Denver Nuggets was the West was just Kobe. They lost to Kobe. He lost in the Western Conference Finals to Kobe. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes, the competition prevents you from being great, right? And, you're talking about Duncan, Dallas. It was just a lot. There was so much predators on the Western Conference that if you made it out of the West, there was a good chance you would win the championship in those times because the East was trash. The East was trash during those times. So when Melo came to the Knicks, people felt like, well, he should have waited till free agency. See, there's a thing called the CBA, and it was changing that year. So there was a lot of mystery to the amount of money that would be available, right? Because people forget also that, remember, they exchanged salary for Melo. So you're assuming that you would be able to sign all of those guys and then sign Melo. That's one assumption, right? And then two, the bottom line is Melo felt like, and it was a lot of mystery and concern that he probably wouldn't even been a Knick the following year. So they had to get the trade done. Now, when Phil Jackson took over the team, he traded his mans in them, Shumpert in them. Like as soon as Phil came to the Knicks, it was downhill. So if I'm Carmelo Anthony, there's no way in my mind that I am sacrificing any money for this godforsaken team. Matter of fact, I shouldn't even resign there. Melo honestly should have forced the trade out then or went to free agency then. because the Knicks didn't have a prayer's chance in hell to do anything under Phil Jackson. But that's a whole nother topic. Go ahead.
And you're right, and don't get me wrong, you're right. I'm not discrediting that. I absolutely Phil Jackson came in and did some dumb shit. Excuse my language. You
Yeah.
trade Shumpert and Smith to the Cleveland. The team that's in the East that we're gonna have to battle with to get over the hump. You trade it to them, and then they absolutely go on to win the ring. I get that, but also
Crazy.
I'm looking at Carmelo as the basketball player on the court. As the player, you can't control what happens in the office. And all due respect, I 100% agree with you. If the front office is messing you over, get your money. Do what you got to do
That's
to
a fact.
make your longevity and make your career and your family stable and steady in the long run. But what I'm saying on the court wise, don't get me wrong. Like I say, bro, Carmelo is my favorite player. I've been watching him since Syracuse when he won in '03, I believe, the national
Yeah.
championship. Carmelo, he's great, but sometimes he doesn't play team ball. And don't get me wrong, he didn't have too many, you know what I'm saying, good players around him until I want to say that 2012 season with Tyson Chandler, Jason Kidd,
Yeah.
Shumpert, and all of them.
Mm-hmm.
But Carmelo, I just felt like sometimes he just thought about himself. Now, I didn't really see what happened between him and Jeremy Lin, so I'm not really going to quote on it. What I'm going to
Okay.
say is, I did feel like Jeremy Lin was coming over and taking his spotlight just a little bit, just a little
Mm.
bit. That's another conversation for another day. But that's what I think. But I just feel like, man,
You say
right now,
Jeremy Lin took his spotlight. Jeremy Lin played 20 games for the Knicks.
no,
What spotlight could he take?
he was coming up on the come up. I think Carmelo wanted to be the face of the team. Look at Jeremy Lin's stick, bro. I'm talking about the whole NBA was behind that.
You know what you need to do? You need to
What's
go
that?
watch the Roommates podcast. No,
Okay.
not the Roommates. I mean, I'm sorry, 7 p.m. in Brooklyn, Melo's podcast with Jeremy Lin. They
Okay.
actually talk about the details as to what happened and why, Jeremy Lin bolted off to the Houston Rockets. But, when you get the chance,
Got
you got some free time, go check that out.
I will. Because like I said, I didn't know too much on it, so I didn't really want to quote. But I just thought from just looking at it and from just seeing it from a third person, just outside business. And like I said, I could be
Mm-hmm.
wrong with my statement. I just felt like Carmelo just a little bit thought he was taking the spotlight because of all the hype and everything behind him. Now, I understand that was just like 20 games, 15 games, whatever it was. But when you coming in and you already have a little, you know what I'm saying, spark with you, and then you coming in with a new contract, you coming in with a different mindset. You know what I mean? And we
Mm-hmm.
never know how Jeremy Lin could have panned out with him and Carmelo. Maybe it could have been something decent. We just never know. So that's just my speculation. But
Okay.
getting back to the main source though, right now, Jalen Brunson is the best player to me. He brought us a championship. We can't deny that right now. And all due respect to all the greats that came before him, this guy brought us a championship with a broken wrist, a broken hand, whatever you want to call it. 45 in a closeout game when the rest of the team had 49. I'm gonna be talking about that until I'm 90 years old. Like, do we not understand that? So that's just me, and that's just how I'm feeling. And
No, you're right. You're right. You're
you
right.
know, so
Mm-hmm.
that's all I wanted to stay on, you know what I'm saying, and get to
Thank
with
you.
you know what I'm saying with my statement and all. But
Yeah.
yeah, man.
I appreciate it, man. And you know what? This was a good learning moment because I'm pretty sure there were other people who didn't know some of the details with Melo. Because I hear a lot of people saying that he didn't
No,
sacrifice money. And now because Jalen Brunson won the championship, everybody's looking at everybody else who doesn't sacrifice. But people, what they're missing is Jalen Brunson is Jalen. Everybody can't be Jalen Brunson. Everyone
and,
can't sacrifice the way Brunson did.
and exactly, and I'm not gonna hold you. I know
Yeah.
I'm probably taking a little too much time, but I ain't gonna hold you. That's what I don't like right now with this NBA. Everything
Mm-hmm.
somebody do that Jalen Brunson did, or that's like somewhat in the criteria of what he did, they always got to say, "Oh, that specific player pulled the Jalen Brunson move." No, let that player do what he did, and Jalen Brunson did
Exactly.
what he did. Jalen
Thank
Brunson
you.
did something that no player ever in their mind ever did. You talking about leaving 100 million on the table? Come on now,
Yeah.
as regular
We never seen
civilians,
that. Yeah.
exactly.
We
As
never seen
regular
it.
civilians, we come on now. As regular civilians, we would never leave 100 million on the table. So for a
Never.
professional, exactly, for a professional athlete to say, "Nah, man, I'm gonna leave that on the table because I know y'all gonna do me right." That's just unthought of. You know what I'm saying? Actions from a human being. I'm talking about any human being on earth. That's how far I'm going. So nah, I definitely agree with you, but I just don't like how everybody when they do something that's in the criteria of Jalen Brunson, they always got to be compared to him. Nah, let Brunson have his own lane. Let the players have his own lane. Like the Wimby Jones,
100%.
like the Wimby Jones, he ain't sacrificed ish 25 million, 30 million, 50 million, whatever that is. That ain't nothing, bro. But
Right.
since we won and since it's the blueprint of how to win, everybody going jockey. So I ain't really too much complaining about it. If you want to find a blueprint, hit Leon Rose up because he got it for sale. It might be too expensive for your pockets, but we got it for sale for the blueprint on how to win a ring because we going back in 2027, and that's how I'm looking at it, and that's how I'm gonna close out this
Th-
conversation.
Thank you,
Knicks in
Sean. I appreciate
2027.
that. Big
Yes,
time
sir.
salute,
Yes, sir.
man.
Big
Thank
time
you for the
salute, man.
support, my
Blessings
brother.
to you. Always, always.
All right. It's my brother right there, Sean. By the way, I forgot to say this again, but we're gonna be doing the members only panel tomorrow at 4 for the game. So if you want to come on there, watch the game with us, it's gonna be fun. Oh, is this true?
Yo,
Jonathan Kuminga's a Laker? What the world? The
yo,
Lakers got Jonathan Kuminga?
mic check, mic check. You hear me?
I hear you. Can you hear me?
Yep, everybody was good.
Wow. No, I was just looking at the news. Breaking news tonight.
Oh,
Jonathan Kuminga is with the Lakers.
well, there you go. Breaking news.
Wow.
You give us 10 minutes,
Interesting.
we'll give you the world or whatever it was. 2 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of jacked that out because on the Monday show, I said, give me 50 minutes, I give you the Knicks.
I jacked up. Hey,
That's 10,
that makes
10
the both of
wins.
us because I jacked it up too.
What's good, man?
Hey,
FGC Hitman.
I'm just chilling, man. I don't really got too much to say. I'm just calling to say what's up. And I guess we could talk about Polanco Banchero or whatever the hell his name is.
Yeah, Paolo,
Let's call him
Banchero.
Polanco, man. How about that? We got
Well, listen, I
we
can't
got
be too mad
Polanco
at him.
Banchero here, the tough guy. Oh man, if you've been watching
Go
the
ahead.
Knicks since the '90s, he would be carrying Charles Oakley's bags. That's what he would be doing. Charles Oakley be like, "Yo, get me that towel real quick and get me a cup of Gatorade." Blueberry,
Okay.
orange, and smacks him with the cup. That's what Polanco Banchero would be.
So you feel like he being disrespectful to the Knicks by
He ain't
saying,
even tougher than Chris Childs, man. We know what real tough is. Come on, man. Look, like they're a tough team for current standards. Let's be honest. The game has
okay.
softened up a lot. You know, like ticky-tack fouls and all that. There's still some tough games.
Mm-hmm.
There's still some tough teams. You know, Orlando, shout outs. You
Right.
guys are a little tough. But you got Polanco Banchero. I don't know, man. That's like Max B calling out Big Daddy Kane. Like, you're punching out your weight class, man. Like, what are we doing here, man? Talk to the Miami, man. Don't be talking to us. You ever notice that the state of Florida is shaped like a toilet bowl, like with the handle? That's what Florida is, man. Go talk to Miami, man. Don't be coming to us, man. Talk to Detroit. Like, why are you punching out your weight class? You barely made it. Playing team. Good team, you know, good stuff, man. Yeah.
Yeah. They're saying they're gonna be healthy. That's why they're saying they're not gonna have the injuries no more. That's what they're banking on.
You had one player not show up in Franz Wagner, and you dropped the game. How many shots you miss?
No excuse. No excuse.
20-something? Or I don't even know.
27. 20. I think it was 27 in
He
a row.
missed 27 shots.
Yeah.
You know what? He caught a flashback. That's what happened. Polanco, Banchero caught a flashback back in the high school days. He took his date out to the carnival, and he went to shoot the basketball. You know, the little basketball, you know, the rip-off one? He couldn't get a shot. He couldn't get that teddy bear for his girlfriend. And he caught PTSD from back then. And it just hit him in those last 27 shots.
Damn,
So-
you coming hard at my man Paolo or Polanco.
Yeah, no, actually like Polanco, man. I really don't hate him, man. But like, you know, like I
But it's
respect him as a
competition.
player.
I
But
got
when you
you.
coming at the Knicks, we coming
Yeah, I
at
got
you.
you.
You ain't just coming at the Knicks. You coming at the fans. You know
100%.
you know how we are.
Seconds.
No, 100%. He knows that too. He knows that. So
All right, well,
I feel
had
you.
the 10 seconds. So,
thank you, FGC.
all right, man. Yo, shout out to
No
OKF
doubt.
Nation. Xbox off.
I like the way he has the calls, the Xbox all. Paolo's, I ain't gonna lie, Paolo's my guy because I'm a Duke Blue Devil guy. So unfortunately, you know, a lot of good players that went to Duke are on the ops now, like Jason Tatum. But you know, I can't say I don't like Paolo. You know, he is my guy, but I think he's punching over his head right now. Aiming above his weight class. They not ready for the Knicks. Trust me, they are not ready for the Knicks. What's good, Al Figgy?
What is good, Karan? What's good, fam? What's up, chat?
Nothing much. You know, Paolo Banchero saying that the Orlando Magic are an elite team and they're coming out the East. That sounds crazy.
Look,
Sounds
man,
crazy.
look. I want to be kind. Because I'm in a very good mood tonight, but I'm going to be nice.
Okay.
Look, we don't expect them to say, look, we suck. You know, when one player goes down, everybody just hangs me out to dry. We went and we got Desmond Bain, you know, Wendell Carter Jr. No one's out here helping me out. We're still going to be a play-in next season. We're still going to not get past the first round. I don't expect that guy to say that. So I'm going to be kind and just say, all right. I mean, it's delusion, but okay.
Yeah, definitely delusion.
I expect him to
Definitely
toe the company line, but very important right now. Everybody in the chat, Karan, everybody listening right now, happy anniversary, fam. It's been 1 month right now. It's midnight that the New York Knicks have been the NBA World Champions. And I'm going to tell you, it still feels just as good as it did a month ago. Man. Whew.
It definitely does. We are the champ. I consistently remind people that we are the championship. We are the champions. Yeah.
It's just, it's still, after a month, I'm going to be honest, I'm still not over it. I still watch game 4 and 5 all the time. I watch the key play sometimes. I love to have it on when I'm walking around, you know, when I'm in my house, just sometimes on my phone, I'm just in the car. I just love to listen to it. It's the best. It's like the best music to my ears, man. And just to say,
That's facts.
I know that we were kind of getting off. I know we were kind of getting off topic a little earlier with the '90s Knicks, but two things can be true at once, y'all. Because if I'm being, I didn't become a Knicks fan 4 years ago when we signed Jalen Brunson. I've been a Knicks fan for 32 years. So, you know, the 90s are the team that I fell in love with. I fell in love with the 90s team. So I don't want to, I'm not going to disrespect our old veterans. You know, I think that those guys, there was a lot, and I told you, I hate David Stern. I think we had a lot of uphill battle. And if y'all think right now, I know, like, sometimes I rewatch game 4 and 5, man, and some of these whistles, some of the calls we got were so egregious. Every time, it still pisses me off, just like it did that night when I'm watching Wemby watch and look as his foot goes right where Jalen's gonna land, and they don't call a flagrant one, because there's no way in hell that they're gonna eject Golden Boy, because another flagrant one and he would have had to be ejected from the game.
Seconds.
Right. Exactly.
And they weren't going to do that. The league wasn't going to do that. But we had it rough in the 90s, guys. And anybody who was around in 97 knows that those suspensions killed us. And that was the year we were gonna win. Even Ewing will tell you that was our best shot. But look, man, happy anniversary to everybody, everyone in Knicks fandom, man. It's still like fresh, like it was the day of. It still feels good. Every night we go to sleep and lay our heads on that pillow. Every morning we wake up and we know that we are the NBA champions. And I'm telling you, we're gonna repeat, Karan. I have not seen one team do anything that scares me because I still believe and I know that we have the best starting five. There's no starting five that I think that can match up with ours.
That's a fact.
Yeah, man. But I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Yo, keep doing the good work. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Love you, fam. Let's go.
Thank you. Great call, Figgy. By the way, I was just trying to fact check this Kuminga news because this is the article I read. Ex-Warrior Kuminga gets new Laker 3-year signing trade update. So, but I don't see nobody else talking about this. But Lakers get franchise being involved. Informative signing trade rumors with Kuminga. Kuminga is undoubtedly the Lakers' top free agent target. All right. And that was it. I thought the deal was official. All I read somewhere else, they said that the number is like 20 million or something like that. But it ain't official. The deal isn't officially done. I just wanted to let you know this is what I saw. But you know, it ain't official yet. With the AP, have my hard copies of the New York Knicks 16-game victories coming through the mail. You can buy physical or digital copies. Okay. Have my heart. Okay. What is it? Is that like the post stuff? Like the covers of the victories? That's fire. I would get something like that, but for me personally, I don't really give a damn about what the news said. I mean, listen, I read the news every day, but I don't, I grew past that. Once we got the internet, that's when newspapers became irrelevant to me. But be my guest because AP, you go back to the 90s when newspapers, that's how we got the information. So the newspaper, you always wanted that back cover. You always wanted that cover of the paper. But that's fire, Salute to that. You can get digital copies. Now, I would be more interested in the digital copies just for record's sake. But, I mean, okay. That's cool. That's what's up. By the way, y'all, just let y'all know the New York edition is out. Pre-orders. All right. All you have to do is hit the Linktree /TheObjectiveFan. This includes the 26-27 Knicks basketball schedule, plus all the 12 components of the 82 Nights basketball intelligence system, game tracking, stat trends, 10-game reviews, player to watch, fan engagement pages, season reflection pages, and more. Pre-orders include free shipping, and your journal is scheduled to arrive late September, early October, right before the season begins. All you got to do is hit the Linktree /TheObjectiveFan to place your pre-order now. That's the New York, I always say game night, because the game night is I'm still on game night, y'all. But this is the New York edition for the 82 Nights, all right? Game night was the playoff edition, This was game night. Let me show y'all. This was game night right here. Yeah, we're done with this. This was game night. All right, this is why I keep referencing. Right now we into the 82 Nights New York edition, all right? I'm gonna be back tomorrow. I got 2 shows. I'm doing the podcast and I'm doing the members panel for tomorrow's game against the Detroit Pistons. The Pistons got that guard. He's like a Jalen Brunson who doesn't pass. Small guard. He's one of the 5 small guards that were drafted. I think he was drafted in the first round too. And you can thank Jalen Brunson for that. He's a bucket getter. Plus, they got that big guy at number 55. Was that 55? The big guy we drafted, then we traded him away. Onicio, whatever the hell his name is. So those two guys should be playing tomorrow, and we'll get a look at them because we already know in our summer league team, all we have is Tyler Nickel, but still interesting to watch basketball, even though it's not going to count nothing on the record. But come join us tomorrow at 4:00. Do appreciate you guys. As always, let's go Knicks.